392nd day of the Sex Offender Administration. A group of British warships will patrol the Arctic, Sir Keir Starmer has said, following Donald Trump's threats to annex Greenland after he cited concerns about its security. Starmer also stated the U.S., Canada, and other NATO allies would join the initiative. Greenland is safer under NATO than minors are under the Trump administration. Consumers are being warned to check their refrigerators after more than 22,000 pounds of ground beef were recalled due to possible E. coli contamination. The recall affects ground beef sold by CS Beef Packers, LLC, of Kuna, Idaho, and shipped to distributors in California, Idaho, and Oregon. If you have contaminated meat, wear a condom and wash it, you nasty man. John Hurley, the U.S. government's top sanctions official, is set to leave his post as the Treasury Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence after months of internal tension over the tactics and targets and other disagreements with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. With all of the Trump administration's connections to Epstein, the one member to leave their post has no known connections to Epstein. Didn't see that coming. A partial government shutdown centered on the Department of Homeland Security began Saturday amid a stalemate over the Trump administration's controversial immigration enforcement policies. Trump kept his promise to go after the worst of the worst, and he did. And then he made them ICE agents. This has been a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for February 16th, 2026, the 392nd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
I don't know about that. I don't know about
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
We got a cup of coffee in here, please.
I don't know.
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, that's big. What happened? How come it's big over there? That's what she said. I don't know. I don't know. Good morning, America and the rest of the world. It is Monday, February. It's not easy for me to say. February 16th, 2026. President's Day. You know, back when I was a kid, President's Day is a ripoff. Because back when I was a kid, we used to get Lincoln's birthday, February 12th, and Washington's birthday, I believe, the 22nd. We used to get both those days off. And then they said, let's combine them to one day and call it President's Day. And it was a Monday. And now they're throwing in, we got to honor all the presidents. Now, fuck them other presidents. There were only two good presidents. Anyway, so it's a ripoff. I don't know. Are you off from work today, or did they take all that away from you, and now you don't get paid for anything? You're still working. Because it seems like, not a lot of people. I tell you one thing, the garbage men are off today, and schools are off. Schools now, I guess if you're in school, if you're in grade school, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's worked to your advantage because now you get a full week. You get a spring, spring break week, which is not spring, but you get a full week now instead of just those 2 days. So maybe to them it worked out for your advantage. I don't think a lot of companies are paying people to stay home today. Are you? Are you home? Are you working? Looks like the people on the road in the radio are just still working. It just seems that way because the numbers are exactly the same as we'd get on any other day. It's not like we got more people because they're home. You know what? I think we'd have less people because they're home. I'm not turning on the radio. Who cares about that? Anyway, so it's Monday, February 16th, 2026, President's Day. How about that? If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we had, oh, by the way, we got John Ferrantino, Spooky Magic, coming up an hour or two. Comedy Magic, Spooky Comedy Magic, Comedy Spooky Magic. A couple of weeks ago, we had Frank Josephs, an author, Chicago-based author, and I asked him if race relations were getting better on the individual level, not so much the systemic level. And he said, yes, they were. And I think GD agreed with him. And I sort of agreed with him, but I wondered why systemically we still have racial issues in America. If that's the case, if people are getting better, I don't know, that's for lack of a better word. I'm starting to question that. Saturday night, had a paint party in Belrose, Queens. I'd never really known where Belrose, Queens was. It turns out it's not really that deep into Queens. It's only like it's right on the border of Nassau County and Queens. And so I went there, I did a paint party. And coming out of the paint party, I was loading into the car, and four youths stood around me, got in a circle around me, and said, "Give us some money, man." And I got no money. And they, "Oh, fuck you, man. You got money. You reach in your pockets." And I was wearing overalls. I could not. The pockets don't pull out. You know how some pants pockets pull out. You could show. And I got no fucking money. "Oh, you just did a job. You're loading up here. Nobody paid you money." I was like, actually, no. they the company I work for bills them, and they get paid, and they pay me by Venmo 2 weeks later. I don't carry money when I'm doing this stuff. And I said, basically, you guys want to jump me. I started pulling a GD. You guys want to jump me. I'm going to hurt at least one of you. And it's not going to be worth your time. At the end of the day, you're going to find you put a lot of time and energy, not a lot of time, but time and energy into throwing me a beat, and to find out I got no fucking money anyway. And you're going to walk away with nothing for your troubles. And one of you might limp away with nothing. But so the guy who was the most outspoken, "Okay, man," and the three of the guys started walking away. The fourth one decided to help me load up the truck, and "I'm sorry, man." I said, "Dude, you got to get with some better friends. You're gonna end up in jail. You're gonna piss your life away robbing nobodies on the street. We ain't mugging, man. White dudes don't come in this neighborhood late at night all alone." And it wasn't late at night, by the way. It was 8 o'clock or something. Well, white dude, maybe you should let Google Maps know that. White dude's not allowed in this neighborhood after 8 p.m. alone. Whatever. But so it made me question, like, where we're at with race relations. If, white dude alone, let's give him some shit. Anyway, and so I'm thinking about this. The pain parties. This is almost the second time that I've had an altercation. That was because I was too white in a black neighborhood after dark. The last time I almost got beat up is because I was not white enough in a Hispanic neighborhood in the middle of the day. So I'm not sure. Hear that, Jordan Peterson coming through? I'm not sure race relations are getting any better. I think we still have a long, long way to go. Anyway, Evil Ian saying something to me. Good to see Evil back, because that nicest guy, I don't know. Yeah, something about when Ice was jumping me. I can't see. I need new glasses. Come on. First was Ice jumping you. Now you're robbed by. I didn't get robbed. I talked him out of it. These paint parties are a liability. That's exactly what I said. By the way, when I told my wife, she said, "You got to tell the paint party company this." Like, what are they going to do? They're in California. They don't know the geography. Oh, that's a bad neighborhood. You can't go there. So, fuck it. Anyway, so I told them that, and they said I was being racist. I wasn't being racist. The kids only. White dudes aren't allowed in this neighborhood after dark. Anyway, so, is it worth it? Fucking paint parties. Who'd fit? Go figure. Paint parties are dangerous. Anyway, the paint party was a little weird. 13-year-old girl birthday party in the basement of a residential building. And the painting I was supposed to do was, because it was Saturday night. It was Valentine's Day, right? It was a girl's 13th birthday, and the mother chose the painting, Hello Kitty Valentine's Day painting. Now, I'm like, I know, 13-year-old girl's birthday party, and no boys there at all. No boys, which is kind of weird. In my day, when 13-year-old girls had a birthday party, there were a lot of 14-year-old boys there. I don't know, whatever. None. It was all girls. And, they don't want to see an old fucking man. But here's the kicker of it. None of them had any interest in painting Hello Kitty. One girl did a really cool seascape that she just came up with on her own. Two other girls were working on billiard balls. That's what they were working off their phones, and they wanted to paint a pool table with billiard balls, 8-ball and whatever the blue ball is. I don't know what the blue ball is. Like what inspires 13-year-old girls to paint billiard balls? None of them had any interest in Hello Kitty. I'm there giving instruction how to paint this Hello Kitty Valentine's Day thing to nobody. Nobody's paying any attention. They don't fucking care. Mother seemed to have a good time with it, but whatever. Anyway, that's my weekend. I hope you had a better weekend than I did. I spent yesterday. Hello Kitty is so 90s, is what Ian's saying. I didn't know that. I never even fucking knew anything about Hello Kitty. First I heard of it was Friday afternoon when I decided I had to paint a sample of it. I think I could show. Can I show? What the fuck? Oh, no, that ain't it. Oh, I was going to show the painting, but it's I don't even know where I got it. Where's my Hello Kitty? Maybe later. Maybe we'll do it later. How about that? Because I'm not doing it now. I can't find it now. That's why. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to tell you about Wine Express right now. Would you like to know about Wine Express? Because it is President's Day. I will tell you about Wine Express. I haven't done this before. This is my first time doing this. So bear with me because I don't know anything about anything. You know that. What do you know about me? You know that I don't know anything about anything, which is, I'll do this. Oh, I love the clicks on the Wine Express thing. Oh, that's a little loud, right? Is that a little loud? Should I bring it down a little bit? That's a little better, baby. All right, Wine Express. Let me tell you about Wine Express. Wine Express, wineexpress.com is the exclusive wine shop partner of the Wine Enthusiast catalog and website, which has been providing quality wine accessories and storage for 40 years. What's a wine accessory? Cheese. That's a wine accessory. Or a corkscrew. Anyway, during that time, they've served millions of satisfied customers and built a loyal following of avid wine lovers who get accessories like corkscrews and cheese. It's only natural and that they have been teamed up with the Great Wine Shop to bring their customers first quality wines at value prices. And speaking of value prices, you can get even a better value price today with this not Valentine's, it's President's Day. That's what it is. It's a President's Day, 80% off. How about that? 80% friggin' off of your friggin' wine accessory bill. And I know you spend a lot on wine accessories because I can tell by looking at you that you're a wine accessory enthusiast. Anyway, wine wineexpress.com. That's where you want to go, wineexpress.com. Ladies and gentlemen, as I fade this music out, look, I'm doing a professional DJ fade out, long fade out. Yeah, we come to Long Island to get beat up when we leave paint parties. That's what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now are a man who's never got beaten up at a paint party coming out, because I don't know if you noticed about him, but he is a cross between Bruce Lee and Clark Kent. Ladies and gentlemen, say good morning to G.D. Fenderson. Good morning, G.D. Fenderson.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. I'm dressed in my alter ego of G.D. Fenderson because at night I fight crime as the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. I get dressed up as a minister and fight crime by saying things like, "You don't want to fight with me because I'll kick your ass in 4 different languages." Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering. Valentine's Day just passed, and if you haven't gotten your gift yet, boy, did you fuck up. But you can make up for it with a gift on President's Day.
Yeah, that's they shouldn't put Valentine's Day and President's Day so close together. 2 fake holidays within days of each other. That's just rude. Matt's been brushing up on his Clint Eastwood movies. What do you mean? Clint Eastwood movie. I don't know what you're talking. What is that in a reference to? Do you know?
Probably
Clint Eastwood movies.
Punk, you feeling lucky, punk? You want to rob me today, punk?
Oh no, that's not really what I said.
Money. I don't have any money, punk, but I'll give.
That was basically it. What changed their mind was. What changed their mind wasn't that I was going to hurt them. It was that they weren't going to get anything for their troubles. I just had no fun. I don't carry money. Who carries money? It's so yesterday. You talk about Hello Kitty being so 90s. Money is so 90s. I mean, who carries cash? You carry cash with you wherever you go?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
For what? Why don't you just use your debit card like I do?
Because sometimes you're at a place and for some odd reason the debit machine doesn't work. Well, I've actually
then you get it for free. That's how it works. If the debit card machine doesn't work, it's all free.
That depends on the neighborhood you're in. Not every neighborhood operates on that. It's on a case-by-case basis.
I don't think you're allowed to say neighborhood. That's racist. A very racist to say neighborhood.
I didn't say neighborhood. I said neighborhood.
No, neighborhood. Okay. According to the paint party people, for me to say bad neighborhood, well, I guess bad neighbor. Like what different? Anyway, neighborhood got me in trouble. Just saying.
Well, that sounds like the people whoever running the paint party thing obviously are so sensitive about things that they don't know how to use the word racism. They don't understand the concept of racism, which in itself probably means they're a little bit racist.
Yeah. Well, the one kid who was helping me pack up, he was a little apologetic. Like, yeah, he didn't want to.
How old was he?
I would say 22. I'm guessing early 20s.
Okay, considering how old you are, if you think he's in his early 20s, he's probably 50. No, I'm just teasing. No, he's.
You know what?
I'm just teasing.
Earlier in the day, this was yesterday. I went to the local grocery and I was bagging my own stuff, and a bagger guy came over and said, "Do I want help bagging the groceries?" I said, "No, to be honest with you, this is like my weekly gym." Bagging groceries is the only exercise I'm going to get at my age. He goes, "Oh, you don't look that old." I was like, "Okay," and I started. He goes, "I'm guessing 35." I was like, "What is this? Okay. Some kind of gay? What is this? Some kind of gay pickup line? You're trying to impress me here? Because obviously you don't think I look 35."
Yeah, when people, they shoot under when they're trying not to offend you. Yeah, they're like.
I think he was trying to pick me up. I told him I got the. He was just, I'm into grandpa cock, whatever.
Okay.
So yeah. What's with this kid trying to lie to me? Like, you don't need to lie to me. I'm an easy catch. You want grandpa cock? It's right here. I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's inappropriate, isn't it? Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
No,
I think it's inappropriate for me to talk about whether or not something's inappropriate if I haven't seen it.
What is this with these? Is that kick? Is that the SH? and they're
Yeah,
showing some kind of symbol there. Is that a bot, an international bot symbol?
I've seen it before, and I'm assuming it was a bot because I've seen it when I'm watching the Reverend show. I'll see those there, but they don't make any. They don't mention anything. Like they don't say, "Let me buy something" or whatever. They just there.
Yeah. Oh man, I got too many images on my desktop. We got to.
Same little green thing.
Do you really know anything about Hello Kitty? Because I mean, first of all, with the
I
paper,
remember Hello Kitty, and then it got what is it when you steal it and use it for something else? Because it was geared
appropriated.
toward Kitty. It was geared toward children. I mean, kids, children, little girls.
That's what
And
my wife
then-
said. She's like, by the time I'm 13, when I was 13, I was way past Hello Kitty. That was into makeup and.
But what happened was, young ladies started wearing like Hello Kitty underwear, Hello Kitty bras, and it just started getting really sexualized.
Oh, that's not good. No,
So
let's unsexualize everything.
yeah, at least so the things I was seeing, I was starting to see like grown women with like C cup and D cups, and they're wearing a shirt designed for like somebody with an A cup. I mean, the shirt was like the Hello Kitty was like really stretched out. It was like it wasn't Hello Kitty. It was like Hello Kitty. It was
The paint party though, they got to be cognizant of this. If it's a 13-year-old girl's birthday party, you don't send a 66-year-old man. They don't. But and
you don't want to send a 20-year-old boy because you'll wind up.
No, you want to send a 23-year-old girl to lead the paint party, or even a 35-year-old woman to lead that paint party, which would, at least I don't know. They can relate. They can I don't know, whatever they want. But check with when the mother says, I got a 13-year-old girl birthday party and Hello Kitty, I would say, are you sure they're going to be into Hello Kitty? Maybe they want to do billiard balls or something. Well, I don't know.
Again, I mean, I don't know how I guess you could say, are you sure you want to do Hello Kitty or something like that? But the woman could I'm just saying the woman could have already been through this with her kid. Let's just say, maybe she'd already had literally had the argument with the kid. No, I know what you want. You want me to bring in, you want to do live nudes. I'm not doing live nudes for your friends. Hello Kitty it is, or whatever. I don't know. So just, if you're having difficulties, if you're having second guesses, send samples of Hello Kitty and then samples of other stuff that they could possibly do, instead of that way. It's more like a passive aggressive thing.
That was the painting. Now I could see why 13-year-old girls will want to do this. Right? I mean, come on. It just feels
because when you're 13, you're trying to fill out your first bra, and then she looks like she's still trying to fill one out. So you're
basically you know what, they're trying to make up, they're buying wine, they're trying to sneak into bars, right?
Or sneak into old man's pants who are doing paint parties.
No, that's bag boys at the Stop and Shop.
So I stopped listening when you said somebody was interested in you. I'm sorry.
I don't know if there's something wrong with that kid. Whatever. Maybe just he felt like his supervisor was watching him. You got to do something, right? Go help the old man.
Maybe he has down on his luck syndrome.
Yeah. We have a busy week this week. First of all, today we have John Ferrantino. I don't know if I mentioned that. I did mention that, but later on we have John Ferrantino, which was he's a spooky. Too bad we don't have Ron here.
I don't know what spooky is. What do you mean by spooky? I watched a couple of the videos and he's a comedian. I don't see spooky.
We're gonna ask him about that.
I mean,
he does one thing with like a hatchet through the head thing or whatever.
That's not spooky.
He does. Well, for you, it's not because you're not a 13-year-old girl. He does mostly 13-year-old girl spooky.
I don't know. Is he on the list? Did you check to see if he's on the list?
Well,
I'm just saying, if that's what kinds of parties he does, he's been doing this for a while. He's been doing this long enough that he could have been doing parties with the Epsteins.
He's been doing it since Woodstock.
At least 87, because it said there was a video from '87 where Cosby, Stills, Nash, and Young were. Well, was it Young? I don't know if Young was there or not.
Yeah,
but
well,
they
Young
did
was there some of the
testimonials.
time.
Yeah, they did
Well, yeah.
testimonials for him, which
Right.
I think is cool. They got to do that.
Well, now you could ask him today what Young added to the group. Remember, you were confused about why they even need Neil Young.
Right.
Like, what did he add anything? But
and if not Neil Young, who would you add instead? Who should the fourth member have been? If they felt like they needed a fourth member, who should it have been? Because I don't know enough about music at that time to plug somebody in.
Minnie Riperton would have been good.
I'm thinking not Billy Crystal, not Billy Withers, the keyboard player, Herbie Hancock. No, the other black guy that played piano. Nothing from nothing is nothing. Gotta have something.
Billy Preston.
Billy Preston. Add him to the group.
Yeah, he's always he's the fifth everything. Even though that would have forced CSN one, but yeah, that's just weird, right? Going to a classic rock show and there's a magician opening it up.
It was the '80s. I mean, it was the '80s, you know.
Still, I mean,
and
he
maybe
I don't know. He didn't meet them there. He went to Woodstock. He saw them at Woodstock. He was at Woodstock. I know that. And I don't know how he got hooked. I don't remember how he got hooked up with Graham Nash originally, and then Graham got him to open up for CSN, and then eventually Y popped up. That Y seemed to be a very freelance guy. Like, if I want to show up, I'll show up. If I don't want to show up, I won't show up. And they put up with that.
He was a guitarist for hire. He was a merc. He was a guitar merc.
Okay.
A music merc.
All right. But they put up with it. But I think there were fights Stephen Stills and Neil Young got. I think there's some of that in some documentary films with fist fights behind the scenes. They didn't get along or something. I don't know. Well, we'll ask John about that. He knows. He said, I think he told me once Stephen Stills was absolutely crazy, batshit crazy, which doesn't surprise me. But it would be good to have Ron here to bust his balls about Neil Young and tell him what he thinks of Neil Young. And then we could just take a break and let Ron and him fight. Right? That would be good.
I don't think he'd be like defending.
He has nothing to promote, by the way. I asked him to come on the show just because I've been watching more Magic and I wanted to. And plus, he did a thing on the Epstein files, and we'll talk about that. But
how to make names disappear from the Epstein file.
Well, yeah, I think if you can think back to when you were 11 years old and you saw a magician at a kid's party.
I never saw a magician at a kid's party when I was 11.
All right, when you were 12 or when you were 10?
I never saw a magician at a kid's party that I could think of.
You never had a magician at a kid's party? I don't think we had all that much. Certainly my parents weren't in a position to hire
I watched most of the stuff I'd seen. I watched on television. The stuff that I watched.
So are you familiar with the old coloring book effect, where the book is empty,
then all of a sudden it's got
blank pages, yeah. So he's got that. He basically did that with the Epstein files. It's a book where it's all blank pages, and then now it's all got all names in it, that kind of thing.
I saw. This is from New Mexico. This is Heavy Kev. I saw a juggling belly dancer open for Hawkwind.
New Mexico, you say? I thought he was in New Zealand.
I'm saying New Zealand. It's funny. Every single time I see that, I keep wanting to say New Mexico, and I know it's New Zealand. And this is the first time I caught myself before I didn't catch myself before I said it.
A juggling body.
Hello,
body
Mickey
dancer,
Delaney. Hello, Mickey. I'm sorry.
A juggling belly dancer.
Oh yeah. Okay, now that's okay. He may be mixing his metaphors because they do this. They do this, right? So it could be jugulars. I think he meant jiggling. I think he meant jiggling.
Juggy.
I think he meant jiggling jugular dance, belly dance.
Juggling belly dance. There can only be one, right?
I don't know. I mean, there was an old thing. Good morning, Mr. Now, see, I said New Mexico by accident, and look who appears. Good morning, Craig.
Juggling belly dancer. Oh no, I wait a minute.
So
I can't spell or type.
there was a really old joke that I learned back when I was in my 20s. I was learning to juggle. Actually, yeah, I was juggling, and the guy that was teaching me to juggle, he goes, "We're doing 3 balls in the air at one time," and then he goes, "Now we're going to do 5 balls," and he lifts one leg and he starts jumping up and down. So he said 5 balls at one time. Because the other 2 balls were his testicles. Saying this.
Apparently, first of all, it came up jiggling belly dancers. Said search for juggling belly dancers.
I
Really?
I told you jiggling. I told you jiggling. Why'd you even?
A juggling belly dancer represents a fusion of traditional belly dance, Raj Shakri, I don't know what that says, with
Boom
circus art,
shakalaka.
with circus art, specifically contact juggling, prop manipulation, or in some cases, fine arts. But there can't be more than one.
I don't see why not.
There can't be, because nobody can be that.
It's not like you need a license to be a belly dancer and a juggler. Juggler.
Juggler.
No, it's not like I went to Zorro yesterday with the missus. It is an easy 1-hour drive from Albuquerque, 30 minutes from Santa Fe.
Oh, now that's New Mexico or New.
Yeah.
He's a New. Why didn't you call him? Why didn't you say he was in New Zealand?
I just said, speaking of New Mexico, with balls, etc. I think it was the singer's girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Epstein, the DOJ is up to shenanigans again. I don't know if you're aware. You're aware, right? That yesterday they put out.
I know they're up to shenanigans. What's it this time?
They put out a list of names, but with no context in it. Any name that was ever came up, whether it was in a news article or in the files or just a list of names.
Yeah, I figured that out when it said they released 300 names. I said,
no context whatsoever.
Yeah, I said I'm not going to look that up. I know what they're doing. They're just trying to get people to talk about different things, and it's like, look, we're exposed. No.
Transparent. That's what they're saying. We're
transparent. No, that's not transparent.
It's the opposite of transparent. It's muddying the waters. And it's
exactly.
just intentionally confusing people and just putting shit out there and not, Barack Obama's name. I can guarantee you Epstein did not have Barack Obama to the island or Zorro Ranch or his house in Manhattan because he didn't like black dudes.
No, but he was probably mentioned, but like says, that fucking nigger, I'm not having him here.
Something like that. Something along those lines. Maybe not those exact words.
I think that's what the exact words, because I remember doing a spell check for Epstein.
I think that was a little soft sell on it because it probably was a lot worse than that.
It was until I did this. I did because that's it. You realize this was back when I needed work and I was actually Epstein's spell checker for his emails. And I said to him, "You realize in the future people are going to be looking through these emails and they're going to see what you said." And he goes,
"Did you help him bag his groceries at any time?"
No, the thing I was bagging was lotion, and that was the Diddy party. What did I bag for him? I took a lot of unsavory jobs and I needed money. I used to run errands for Diddy and go get lotion for him. I used to go get Hello Kitty lunch boxes for Epstein.
Why? I got to get new glasses today.
They need to send a congressional committee out here so they can actually see how the place is laid out to understand how this was done.
Yeah. Well, I think you understand how this was done. They brought the little girls in and they fucked them. Right? I mean, Matt, your eyes are shit. Yes, that's right. My eyes are shit, but I can still paint Hello Kitty like there's no tomorrow. And because there is no tomorrow. Well, and I'm like, the kids are not paying attention. You think I want to be fucking standing here painting Hello Kitty? I would, I don't know.
What else would you have done with your Valentine's Day if you weren't painting Hello Kitty?
Well, I asked my wife if she wanted to come with me, and she said no because if it were in Suffolk County or in Long Island, but Queens was the big thing for her. She didn't want to come to Queens because I don't know if you're aware, but she says I could be an asshole when I'm driving. And listen, I
can see that, sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely. But I did get a second opinion, and it turns out I do suffer from being an asshole. It is not terminal, but it's not treatable. So there you have it. She's right. I'm an asshole. But
Now,
when I got home,
did you get this from Dennis Leary? Because when you're an asshole, everyone else is an asshole too.
no, that's a big asshole. That's a different kind of asshole. That's a oleo. I'm just an asshole.
No, Dennis Leary had this thing. I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. That song that Dennis Leary did.
Right. And in the end, at the end, asshole.
Oh, I never made it to the end of that song.
You never got past.
I never. No, I'm sorry. Dennis Leary is not one of my favorite comedians. I've watched him a few times, and he starts out I think he starts out funny, and then something happens somewhere around his 8th or 9th minute, and he just loses me.
Well, it would be better. You can see his stuff when it was done by Bill Hicks originally, and it's much better when Hicks did it. What I can't read. Somebody it gets smaller when I put it on the stage.
It has been made out that the ranch is completely remote, isolated from human observation. In fact, the main house of the ranch is located at the top of a hill with a fantastic view. Now, is the fantastic view from the house, or is it a fantastic view from the ground up?
Yeah, I think more of the stuff, more of the. I don't know this, but I'm under the impression that a lot of bad stuff was happening at the ranch, more so than even the island. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, at the island, they put in a trap door, right, to the ocean where they could just throw bodies down there with sulfuric acid or with the sharks in whatever.
If you're throwing them in the ocean, you don't need the sulfuric acid, because the sulfuric acid doesn't.
I think they wanted to do away with any DNA evidence around on the floors and all that kind of stuff. So they would just, because he did order 300 gallons of sulfuric acid days before it got raided or something. That's a fact. That's a fact, Jack. Anyway, they're not releasing. They're still not releasing any of this stuff, and nobody's getting prosecuted. They're not going to prosecute anybody. God damn it, man! What does it take if you're rich to get? I can't even fucking park funny without getting harassed by cops. They can just chop up babies and have satanic rituals, and sure, it's all cool. No problem. You got money? Fine, that's fine. We'll just look the other way here. We're not going to pay attention. And it's just to the point where I give up. Satan won, right? The SAVE Act thing. Where are we with that?
I have no idea. I mean,
you don't have no idea. You're a chief political correspondent. Why don't you know where we are with that?
Because there's so many moving parts of things like that. It passed the House and it has to go to the Senate, but it needs 60 votes in the Senate. It's not
60?
Yeah. Unless they get rid of the filibuster.
I feel better if that.
Unless they get rid of the filibuster, it's going to take 60 votes. So
I thought it just needed a simple majority in the.
No, that's in the House. It needs a simple majority, but in the Senate, yeah, they still, any significant legislation needs 60 votes.
All right. So Susan Collins is the 50th. She just signed on to it. So they did 10 votes short. That feels good. I mean, that feels not safe, but better than what I thought it was one vote away. All they would needed to flip was one seat and take it. Right?
No, I said unless now there are procedural things that they could probably try, but the only procedural things I can think of is when they do reconciliation, but that's budgetary. The SAVE Act has nothing to do with the budget unless somebody rewrites it and reconfigures it to show that it has something to do with the budget. But even then, they may have, I don't know how many times they've done reconciliation. I think there's a limit to how many times you can use reconciliation during one term or 1 year, I think. So I don't know. Right. But this is the beginning of 26, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't, And I don't think it's come up. And I don't think it's even come up. It hasn't made it out of committee yet. So in the Senate, I don't even know if it's even gone to committee in the Senate. I think the people that are talking about it are talking about how they will vote on it as it stands now.
The site of much horror, and finding remains is going to be daunting. Oh, look at him using word. Well, how often do you use the word daunting?
I use it every day because I play this game. I play this game on my phone called, I don't know, should I say it since it's not a sponsor?
Yeah.
Wordscape Solitaire. Wordscape Solitaire. And my wife got me hooked on it. Well, she didn't deliberately get me hooked on it.
Is there a gateway game that will get you leads to getting hooked?
Well, Solitaire is a gateway drug, but and also Wordscapes, because I like word games. I like I like games that make me think enough that it distracts me from things that are going on. And so, but if it's too distracting, I'll play the game too long. And that's what's happened here. I played it for hours and hours and hours, and I'm finding it difficult to put it down. So I may just stop playing it because I'm not sure I can play it in moderation.
That rich man that you see is finally put you down. When you say put me down, put it down. That's all I can think of is "Welcome Back, Baby" to the pole side of town. Who did that song? I don't know. Nobody cares. Yeah. All right, that's the show for you. Oh no, we're still waiting on John Tarantino. His daughter Lindsay was supposed to be on the show a couple of times. She's a Broadway producer. She's got a lot of big plays and musicals, but she keeps blowing me off. So not blowing me off.
You said Tarantino. You meant Tarantino?
Tarantino. That's what I said.
Oh, Tarantino. I mean, yeah, I thought it sounded like you said. I thought it sounded like you said Tarantino. Maybe it's your Long Island accent slipping through.
Yeah, maybe it's just the lips ain't working. Could be that.
Yeah, that's true too. Could just be my hearing.
So maybe I should just quit the paint party thing and not because there's no way they can know. I'm all over the fucking map here, right? But there's no way they can know what's a good. I don't even know what's a good. First of all, I never even been to Belrose, Queens before Saturday night. Really, never stopped it. I'm sure I passed through it, but I didn't know it was a bad neighborhood.
I still think that overall race relations have gotten somewhat better. Yeah, I think they've gotten better. I mean, bad things are going to happen regardless. Even in a utopia, things are going to happen. Utopia isn't actually a real place. It's just an idealized version of what a place could be. So sure, bad things are going to happen. People are going to be criminals. They're going to be criming.
Bad dudes.
Racism.
The thing is, when dudes get together, bad things are going to happen. Young dudes.
Oh yeah.
They're walking the street. They got no place to go on a Saturday night. Oh, what are we doing? We're bored.
And sometimes, that's something literally just like boredom. It's like, we're not robbing you. We're suggesting that you give us money. It's like,
right. That's what the kid said. We ain't muggers. That's what he said to me. We ain't muggers. We're just, white dudes don't come in this neighborhood alone at night. It was just a surprise to see it. Well, maybe I'm delivering milk. How about that? Do I look like a milkman? No, I look like
maybe I got jungle fever, and you just busted me, man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
They probably thought I was a fag. I'm sorry, but with the Hello Kitty poster, they probably thought, well, look at this guy. He just wants to get beat up. His Hello Kitty painting in his hand, right? Wouldn't you think that?
No, I think you needed therapy. I would think you just finished a therapy session, and I wouldn't fuck with you at all. I'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, you okay? You okay to drive? Is your medication? Did you take your medication? You okay to drive? Yeah. I'll make sure you get out of your parking space unharassed."
So when I told my wife that when I got home, I told her the story. I said, "I'm glad you didn't come with me," and she was making a big deal of it. Oh, what if I would have went with you? I was like, I don't know. Maybe it would have been. Maybe they would have left me alone if they saw. I don't know. What do you think? Because would they been more likely to fucking try to rob me if my wife was there or not?
It's 50-50. I know once I was in a parking lot with my nephew, and a guy came up behind me, and a guy came up behind my nephew, because my nephew, like, our car was like to my left, and my nephew was in front of me. But we were in a parking lot, so there was cars on either side of us. And so we were between the two cars getting ready to I was opening the door for him. This was back when I had to open the car because you couldn't, there was no like click, click, you had to physically do this. So I just went and I was opening the door going over to open the door for him. And a guy walked up behind me and behind my nephew. And the guy says, it's pretty much the same thing as two white guys. And it's pretty much like, we're not here to rob you. We're just selling CDs, and I'll give you the CD and you can give me some money. Right. And I looked at my nephew, and so there was a guy behind my nephew. My nephew was 8 years younger than me. So I was probably in my 20s. So my nephew was in his teens. And so I gave the guy $5. He gave me a CD and they walked away. My nephew goes, Uncle Glenn, I don't understand. You could have taken them easily. I said, I could have, but there was a guy behind you. And I don't know what he would have done with you. And so I just assumed
he would have to bag his groceries.
I said, so I just assumed that this, so I do this. And I said, it's only $5. It's no big deal to me. I said, I'd rather give up the $5 than risk something happening to you. Now, if they'd asked for like $10, then I would have been fighting. 15, definitely. 20 is like, you can have my nephew. No. So,
Take him.
No, yeah, but my nephew was like, Uncle Glenn, you could have taken them. You could have taken them both. And I didn't want to put my nephew in danger. It's the same thing if something. Now, if it was definitely like shit going down, then all bets are off. I'd protect my nephew with my dying breath. Same with my wife. It's like, don't come, but.
Well, this Saturday, I have a paint party in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And
you can't go there. That's. Whoa.
I'm thinking Greenpoint has a bad reputation. I know the only reason I think that is because Mishka has a song, I Don't Want to Die in Greenpoint. That's the only reason.
Okay, does he have a song that talks about where he does want to die?
I don't know. I am not familiar with this whole catalog. Maybe he does have I Want to Die in Dubuque.
Portsmouth.
I want
Portsmouth, Maine. Or Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Right. My friend Melissa Kelly, who I called her Missy.
Sweet Melissa?
Yes, she is. She was born incredibly beautiful, and when I knew her when she was a teenager. I was a teenager. I'm not that much older than her. I'm like 5 years older than her or whatever. But she was a young girl. She was extremely beautiful. She still is. But she posted this thing about Valentine's Day. She's kissing her man now, and this dude is just in the picture, and he's just looking like, I'm so cool. And I wrote something about this dude looks like he knows he won the game of life. And she just, even though she's a very beautiful woman, she look, because Portsmouth, Maine is what made me think of this. She lives up there. She's a chef, and she's a very successful chef and all this stuff. But she's kissing her, and she's still beautiful, even though she's
in Maine,
pushing 60 now, 50 now, 50 or 59 to 60 now. She's 60 or something. But still beautiful. But then she felt like she couldn't get like one compliment wasn't a good enough for her. It's like she wanted to go. I just had to keep complimenting her and telling her, well, did he win the lottery? Yes, he won. He fucking won the lottery. You were born fucking gorgeous. Stop. And it was still going on this morning. Like, all right, you got enough fucking compliments out of me. Just go cook something, chef. Anyway.
Craig wrote, by the way, I think that's what BTW means, right? Not bondage, tie up. Okay. By the way, Google has pulled images of the ranch main house from Google Maps. Nothing to see here. Yeah, it's funny how I've seen them do that. They did that with Dick Cheney's house. They pulled Dick Cheney's house off the map, and so there was this hole in the map. Like you're looking for Dick Cheney's house. There's this hole in the map you can't find. It's like that must be where Dick Cheney's house is. And then when they blacked out the neighborhood.
Zorro Ranch. I'm googling it. What if I go images here? I see a picture of the main. I think this is the main house, right? Let me share.
I think that's different from Google Maps and Google Images. I think Google Maps is the.
Oh yeah. That's right. So yeah. I don't know. It looks like a nice house. Nice house. Nice house if you're gonna do some really creepy shit.
I'm curious. What I'm curious about is once people know. I mean, let's put it this way: I don't have any friends that are pedophiles that I know
of.
That's right, because once I find out, if I find out they're pedophiles, they're not my friends anymore. So
it's not like people advertise like, oh, by the way, I'm a NAMBLA guy.
Well, let's put it this way: when I was in my 20s, late 20s, my stepdaughter was becoming a young lady. She was like becoming a teenager, and she was trying to be, just like her mother, matter of fact, better looking than her mother. And she was like really attractive, and so two of my friends came to my apartment, and they saw her, and they were like, "Man, she's hot." I said, "That's my stepdaughter." They said, "Yeah, but you don't think about, I said, "Man, and I literally had to ask him to leave my place, and I've never been friends with, never saw him again. It's like, don't, no.
Yeah. Well, did they know she was a kid, or did they think she was?
No, I told them this. I said it's my stepdaughter. I did tell them she was a teenager. Matter of fact, I think she was just turning 13. I don't think she was in high school yet.
All right. Because even if she was your stepdaughter and she was 25, I don't think necessarily saying she's hot is necessarily inappropriate. She's a very hot woman.
No, I did tell them she was. Yes, I did tell them. Yeah, I did tell them.
They knew she was a kid. They knew she was a kid. That's enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck them dirty bastards.
And then
that's all I gotta say about
them. That was after, once I told them how young, they said, "Yeah, but look at that, man. She could." You don't think about. So yeah, I don't have any friends that I know that are pedophiles. And again, I don't know that they've ever done anything. Just the sheer fact that they said that out loud, that they would be interested in, no.
Oh, they didn't say they. Wow, she's hot.
Let's put it this way. They said, they said to me, "You don't think about," which implies.
Oh, that's good.
I smell eucalyptus. That's the stuff I used in my nose to clear my sinuses. The fact that they said to me, "You don't think about tapping that," sounds to me like they had that.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
those dirty. Get the fuck out of my house, you tap ass, tapper. Maybe were they tap dancers by any chance? Because maybe that's what they meant, tapping with that.
I don't think they were tap dancers. Let's put it this way.
There's no such thing as a tap dancer.
Yeah, and all the times we went clubbing and looking for women, never did they say, "Hey, and not only do I have a nice car, I tap dance." That was like never.
Well, why is Craig saying we're all under the 6 degrees effect? First of all, I think it's 33 degrees here. What is it? Oh, 32 degrees. But 6 degrees effect. We're all connected to a pedophile.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We're all connected to a pedophile through 6 degrees of separation.
I mean, one of my dead brothers, I know, would have been a pedophile. Let's put it this way. When I was younger, he tried to talk me into performing an act that would have been pedophilia, and I declined. See, this particular brother was really, really a bad seed, really fucking bad seed. But it wasn't bad enough for him to do something bad. He had to get someone else to do something bad with him. He was always trying to.
You don't want blackmail shit on you,
and so
that's how they work.
I was about 7 years. I was about 7 at the time, because my father was still alive, and so 6 or 7 at the time, and so he was babysitting a neighbor's kid, and I was with him, and so he says, "You want to touch her? You know, you can. It's okay to touch her, right?" And I was like, so I told him it was wrong. I knew it was wrong already. And he goes, "No, you can. You can just go ahead and touch her. She won't even know. She's just a baby. She won't know." And so I said to him, I said, "If you touch her, I will call Dad." Okay. Now, even though he and I didn't live together, you know, my father was still a threat. Because I told you I wasn't really raised with my father, but I said I would tell Dad, and that was what stopped him.
Huh.
So, but at that point, I never thought to tell anybody about it because he didn't do anything. He just said, "Do you want to?" And so I didn't think anything about it until like years later. I was like, I was someplace and I saw the child the child, but they were grown up. They were like in their 40s or something. And then I remembered that incident, and I thought to myself, I wonder if he ever babysat her again, and I wonder if he ever tried it without a witness. And so I was watching her, making sure that her behavior was all normal, like she hadn't been traumatized. And I'm saying, okay, I'm convinced that nothing happened because she seems well adjusted. She's married, she's got kids, and she, hugged me. I think if she had some kind of thing, she'd have been like, "You let your brother molest me." So I'm.
All right. So speaking of science, let's talk some science because I'm confused.
Sure.
Last night I got caught up in a YouTube video. This quantum physics guy, or just a physics guy, not necessarily quantum mechanics, although he did touch on quantum mechanics, saying the past still exists. The past doesn't go away. And trying to explain this to me is like, the old fucking dog thing, throw the ball. Where's the ball? I'm confused. So the past, even though it's in the past, it still exists as it was in the real, or everything still exists as it was. It's just on a different point on the point on the line of space-time, but it's still there. The you of all your life is still there. The people that have died are your father is not dead. He's still alive in the past on that timeline there, even though his death is still on the timeline there, or everything that ever happened is still on the timeline of space-time. But that begs the question, why can't we get back to it? And like, nature has put up protective, I forget how he described it, but there are barriers that stop us from going back, so we can't alter the past. And like, you're fucking with my brain, man. Now I'm just thinking, why even tell me the past exists if I can't go back and correct some of the things?
Now, my humble opinion, I think that's a bastardization of the fact that, okay, for example, what we do right now, if somebody were on another planet, let's say, or even another solar system, and they could see us, they wouldn't see us today. They would actually be, if they could see the planet Earth, they would see things that was happening thousands of years ago. So for them, it's still happening, but it's already occurred. It's that movement. They're seeing the past.
Right.
It's like I think it's a bastardization. Yeah, I think it's a bastardization of that phenomenon.
Well, no, I don't think so. This is relativity, according to this guy anyway. What's his name? What the fuck is his name? Schumann or something? Einstein's relativity, and this is well documented, and 99.9% of the relativity guys lock into that. The quantum guys take it to a whole other, the quantum physics guys take it to a whole other level, that it's all happening all at once, and there is no past, future, or present. It's all simultaneous. And we are just four-dimensional beings on the line, which is now you're confusing me. Like, how could it all be happening at once? But the future is not determined; it's probability and possible outcomes. But so, how is that all happening at once? You're just fucking confusing me. Stop. But all I really care about, is time travel, because I want to go back to, and I can't, to go back to my past self and say, don't do that, do this, and things will work out. And then I'll come back to this time and everything will be perfect, right?
Now you come back to this time and then you realize you would not have met me. And you'd be like,
see, that's what I said. Everything would be perfect. That's what I just said.
What is my missing from my life? I need a Negro friend. I need a token black for a friend. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
And I feel something missing. I feel like I should be doing like mystery dinner theater or something. But where would I find someone who would cast me?
Susskind is his name. It's the universe according to Susskind is the channel. Leonard Susskind.
Okay.
Yeah. Long piece, and he does on the video. Like you don't ever see him talking. He's just audio. Why put it on YouTube if it's just audio? It's just a picture, a still of him, and then talking for that whole time. Like, show me some blackboard stuff. Yeah, at least keep me engaged.
Yeah, the Reverend even uses a blackboard or whiteboard.
No, he uses a whiteboard.
A whiteboard
because he's racist like that.
Well, he did this. He did the testing on what would look better on the screen. It wasn't racism. It was just a matter of what looks better on the screen. What can people see better? That's all.
Right.
And what was cheaper, because they bought that. He did have. There was a budget constraint as well.
All right. Anyway, it's just like, so maybe I should just stay away from science, even though we are trying to, increase our edge rating in science and physics.
Good day, sunshine.
It's been a while since we've actually maybe I should see if I get this Susskind guy on here to confuse me, just to boost our edge rank for science and physics, because I don't know if you know this about us, but we were working our way up the charts in the science and physics podcasts. And then we haven't had anybody on to talk about it. Now we got Dopey Slaptail thinks, medical stuff is science. Yeah, all right, on some level but that's not what that's not why we're in the science podcast thing. We're because of
and since we misplaced our cripple, we don't have him talking conspiracy science stuff.
Well, why is he not a token cripple? You could be a token black, but he's not a token cripple.
What did I call him? I don't know. Actually, I don't remember.
I think you just called him a cripple. You just called him a cripple.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. Whatever happened to him? Is he hates us now, right? Oh no, he's still at View. He just hates me.
I know he's still doing his FU podcast.
He is?
Yeah.
Somebody on Facebook in the podcasting group said, who has a number one podcast ranked in the top 1% globally? I was like, first of all, I don't trust the rankings, and it's not. I'm not even in the top 100%, which means I don't have one. But I'm not even in the top. But I don't trust those rankings because it depends on which the good pods will tell you. But no, nobody's. But anybody who is really that big in podcasting, they're not on the Facebook groups gonna chat with these guys who are just starting out. You're talking people who got millions and millions of listeners, like Candace Owens. I think she's one of the biggest ones now. She's not going to talk to you about she's not going to talk to you on Facebook. The people who have those, would be saying top 1% globally, they're not on Facebook and podcast groups. What are you even posting this shit for? I mean, whatever it is. What is it? Somebody. I think maybe I should retire from this paint party thing. They're just too much. And what I mean, it was fun. It was a fun experience. Now I should just move on. Anyway, the top 1% podcasting thing. Then who are we talking about here? We're talking about.
I have no idea.
Justin Bateman, right? Justin Bateman with his what is it? Bad Friends or something?
I have no idea.
Who you don't know?
I don't
Who's
pay
number
attention
one?
to. I don't pay attention to those things. I don't.
Do you watch any podcasts at all? Or listen to any podcasts at all? Other
From
than
time
your
to
own?
time, no. From time to time, I listen to John Beavers.
Really?
Yeah.
What when you say from time to time, like when you need to fall asleep?
No. I mean, usually, if there are times when I actually don't feel like going to sleep, but I have nothing. Literally, like I don't feel like writing comedy. Usually, if I have spare time, I'm like writing stuff and creating stuff. Most, or doing stuff. I don't.
Spare time. Look
Yeah,
at
that's
you.
what I'm
You
saying.
got spare time.
And so
It's like spare
but-
change. Spare change.
So what is? Oh, okay. I could look at that later. But
people in the chat room, what podcast do you listen to? Don't say this one because you're not listening. Obviously, you would have replied already. You're just slow on the uptake. No, but I think call her daddy. Call me daddy. Call her daddy. Something like that is one of the top ones. I think Candace Owens now is like probably one of the big ones, and it's just this Erica Kirk stuff, man. Holy crap! There are people, when Charlie Kirk was first killed, there were a lot of people already jumping on Erica Kirk. That's not the way you grieve, and all that stuff. But the more I hear about her, the more I learn that what she's into and what she might have been into. This woman seems really like evil. And there was a comedian saying, you know how if you know your dog's dying, the day you're going to put your dog down, you take them out for the greatest day in their life. Let's go to the beach. Let's go have the drive-through at the burger place, and we'll get you a burger for the dog. You think Erica Kirk did that with Charlie? Like took him out for the best day of his life before she took him to get executed there. I think maybe. Listen, I know it's conspiratorial stuff, but she definitely. You don't follow any of this stuff, but she's got her boyfriend from before she knew Charlie is now like the CEO of Turning Point or the assistant CEO of Turning Point USA. He's involved in the money. She's going on tour with him. The guy wrote a book on mind control through religion. Controlling the masses through religion. He wrote that book with a big time Satanist. Now, I don't want to say Anton LaVey type of, but the guy is supposedly high in the Satanic Church of America, and this is the guy she's on tour with, going on a speaking tour with. This doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like what Charlie Kirk was all about. I mean, from what I know about Charlie Kirk, which is not a lot, but it seems she's evil. Seems like she's a bad person. She was involved with this Romanian orphanage. What the fuck she was doing there? She was supposedly having a online grooming affair with a 14-year-old girl while she was married to Charlie Kirk. She was 25, 26 years old or something. And there's all this text messages start out with just like friendly stuff. First of all, you shouldn't be having ongoing conversations with 14-year-old kids. But then it ends up wanting to wake up in bed with her and happy Valentine's Day. I'd want to touch your butt type of stuff. That's inappropriate to a 14-year-old girl. And then they supposedly a meetup or something. And so it's just I don't know. All the people that were jumping on they're jumping on the conspiracy theories that she had him killed and all that stuff. And I don't know that that's necessarily true, but she definitely seems like not a nice person, not a good. This whole thing about heads up, people grieve differently. People don't grieve by getting their ex-boyfriend and giving them all their husband's money. Yeah, his organization. Here, it's yours now. Come on, movement. Feel a little. How would you? I mean, you would feel nothing. But just imagine you get executed, and your wife just goes back to her previous boyfriend and gives him all Glenn shit. Just take all Glenn shit.
Well, but if I'm executed, how would I know?
You wouldn't know. That's what I said. You wouldn't feel anything. But you would think, if you think about it, it does make her seem a little shady, right? If she were to do something like that, surprisingly shady. No?
I don't know. I mean, look, I have, like, for example, I have tons of tools in the basement. Okay. I think a craftsman, a guy who does crafts and stuff, will go like, have like a hard on for all the tools and stuff I have, you know, and in fact, would probably even go like, whoa, we knew what he really needs. He needs a garage so he could keep all this stuff and whatever, you know. I just want her to be happy. Whatever it takes for her to be happy, I'm fine with that.
Oh, look at you being all 21st century and stuff. I hip news.
It's not
Is
even
that a
21st
podcast?
century. It's not even 21st century. That's just the way I am.
It is the 21st century.
No,
I looked
no,
it
I'm
up.
not.
I looked it up. This is the 21st century. Look it up.
No,
Right now is
I'm not saying that because I was saying that in the 20th century as well. I was
well,
saying
yeah,
that in the
but now it's
1900s.
21st century. But that's fine.
You know, I was saying that in the
Uh,
1900s. You know,
I hip news, that a top podcast. I know I hip news. I hip. I hop news is about pancakes, right? I hip news. I hip. Waiting on John Ferrantino. He probably he'll show up exactly at 15. I hip news.
So I had people reaching out to me about the show for Thursday. Want to know what time Comic Call is. You know,
Thursday.
the show starts at.
This is in Westminster, Maryland, right? This is
the show starts at 7. And he wants to know if he could be there at 6. I said, I'm going to be there at 6, but that's because I've never done comedy there. You know, I don't know how. I've seen the seating arrangement. It's set up for bands. It's not set up for comedy. I don't know if I have the permission to rearrange the chairs because they have a seating chart. You know, they didn't change anything for the comedy. They have a seating chart, and it's a terrible seating chart for comedy. It's but I think I have a section where I have friends that are going to be sitting. I'll see if I can move their stuff in front of the stage. Instead of having like there's like this stage and a dance floor, and then everybody's sitting like this, and there's like this dance floor that's like 20 foot by 20 foot. And I want to put people in that area, or we come off the stage and we perform where the dance floor is, and we'd be
comedy dancing. Let's do some comedy dancing. I hip news.
Yeah.
I hip news is Red Straight Progressive. These two women, right? Red State Progressives. That's a tough thing to do. Jennifer Welch and Angie Pumps Sullivan. Why do they call her Pumps? Is that a what is that? Pumps
for the volume.
Oh, I thought it was a shoe reference, right? That pumps her shoes with high heels or something, right? No, am I wrong? Is this like a 1970s thing? Is that what I'm thinking? I don't know. What do I know? Red State Progressive. I don't know. I'm a blue state, and it's still MAGA is everywhere. MAGA is everywhere. It just feels like, even though I'm in a blue state, it feels like I'm in a red state. How about that?
MAGA is everywhere. Not a drop to drink.
Right. Who wants to drink a MAGA? Right? Do you?
No,
I don't either. Anyway, yeah, there seems to be a lot of politics in podcasting, more so than anything else. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. It just feels like that. There was a time when everybody was doing comedy podcasts. Now it's
the funniest thing is that, and if you're doing a podcast on a regular basis, it's easier to do news because you don't have to write much. You can take a headline from somebody else's headline. It doesn't even have to be an accurate headline. It could just be like clickbait. You could take that and just start talking about it. But when you're doing funny stuff, you have to think of a script. I think of Aaron. Remember Aaron Bullitt used to come on all the time?
That's a distant memory. I think the name sounds familiar. Aaron Bullitt. All these Kentucky guys just disappear. They just
I think Kentucky is a black, and I think it's the black hole of comedy. I think, if you're a comedian, you're in Kentucky, you disappear. I mean, I do know other comedians who perform in Kentucky, and I've seen them still thriving. But
did Thomas Massey kill them?
I don't know the answer to that.
Me neither. But I can't even read more about this iHip News. Everything cuts off, and then you click on it, it takes you to a YouTube channel that doesn't give you the rest of the sentence. It says, Trump, iHip News, Trump faces major backlash over illegal and hostile takeover of Warner Brothers. iHip News, the Epstein files are fighting to keep ... Read more. If I click on read more, it takes me to the YouTube channel, and I can't read more. I want to read. I don't want to go watch a YouTube video. I'm sorry. This is Google, not iHip News, that I'm frustrated with at the moment. It's the Google results. They never let you read more. It says read more, but you don't read more. They want to show you a video. I don't want to.
Or worse, they ask for money.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like that.
Look, I understand people. I understand that people need to make money. I do. I'd love to make money. I'm not very good at it, but sure, I'd love to make money.
The whole let's get a job thing. Where is John? It's a minute late, right? He's supposed to be here now.
Maybe he's here. He hasn't done the big reveal.
I know I gave him the right link. This is disappointing. He's probably out surfing. He's in Florida. I think I don't know. Surfing USA. Nope, I don't see him in my email. I'll reach out to him, and go ahead, talk to the people while I try to reach out to him.
Sure.
Talk to my people.
Yeah, I'm going to perform.
Well, they're not my people. They could be your people, too.
Yeah, I was going to perform some illusion, but I don't know any magic tricks anymore. Like, that kind of crap, but, that's stupid,
Right.
Well, I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my hat. Again? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto.
So you're gonna perform Thursday night. You're doing this thing on live at this place with the dance floor that you're gonna bastardize their dance floor, and they're gonna hate you for. And then immediately the next day, like you're gonna go home and catch a few hours sleep, and then go right to the airport and fly to Laguna, right?
Yeah, L.A. Guna. Yeah.
That's and then do comedy the same night.
Yeah.
After a long flight.
7-hour flight. Yeah. Doing comedy.
7-hour flight.
Yeah, because it's a layover. There's a layover.
Oh, layover where?
I don't know.
You don't know? Like
no,
Chicago,
I
Dallas.
I thought because there's two different. There's one layover going and a different layover coming back, and it's not the same place. I think going. I think going. It's in Chicago, and I think coming back, it's in like Florida. I don't know. Actually, it's not Florida. I don't know where it is.
When I was a young person, I'm talking before jet flight. No. They have all these layovers. Nonstop. Everything was nonstop. When did they decide that, we need to take a break? We need to just go sit somewhere in some dopey city. That wasn't the thing. You fly from New York to, you're not in New York, but New York to LA, New York to wherever you were going. This whole layover. It's just a bad idea. It's bad for the whole. I don't know. Do they make more money that way?
Okay. Ron just sent me a text letting me know there's no open mic at Mr. Tongues tonight. So now I have to make a decision. Do I want to do a mic in Hanover at the Church of Satire, or do I want to do the mic in
Boca Raton? You got a layover on the way over to
Hagerstown.
Well, no, if Ron's not listening, I want to know: is it because of President's Day you cancel the open?
No. They had the roof had a leak or something, and it had to be repaired.
The roof has got a leak.
Yeah, they don't need no water because it keeps on pouring in.
Yeah, we had a dusting of snow last night. But I feel
Oh,
like
we had rain.
I feel like we've turned the corner a little bit. The catchers and pitchers reported at spring training. Spring is on. I think opening day is 38 days away. Opening day in baseball, so that's like spring. Hope's eternal. Hope springs eternal. There's something about hope and spring and hope and springing hope. Uh, but the winter's starting to feel like it's getting a little bit over with, right? Or am I just wrong? I'm just being optimistic, which is not my thing.
I don't know.
So Autumn, the dog, my stepdaughter's dog, who my girlfriend. I love this dog.
Is
They
this the one
said
that's really, really ill that's saying goodbye
not
now?
really that. She's not really that ill. She seems
Well, on
fine.
the
She's
inside.
got
I'm talking about the outside. I'm from the inside. Because the
right.
outside,
She's in the final stages of kidney failure. Kidneys are operating at like 10% or something. But my wife goes there every night to give her an IV bag, but when I go to see her, she seems happy. She's wagging her tail. Last night I told her to get me her chicken. She went and got me a chicken. She wanted to play, and which is, they were saying today was the day. Like she was going to take her to have her put down. Like she's not dying yet. To me, you wait for them to tell you, I'm dying. Could you just take me and. But so this is the second time I've gone there thinking this is my final goodbye, and then I come home and I'm like fucking crying my eyes out. I just can't deal with it. Like you're just gonna go and turn the lights off on a living thing, and it's like man, it's devastating. And now, so I go there last night and I'd spend all this time, and now I think they changed their mind. They're not gonna do it today, which is But now I got to go through it again. Like when she comes to the point of
yeah. I know what you're talking about because I went through that with my mother. Who had to put my mother down. I was like,
this is the reverse. This is the reverse.
Yeah,
my cat died 18 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Thank you.
It's an inverted cat died 18 years ago joke. I don't know. You got to stop. Saying.
I'm glad you realized what I was doing because I didn't want to I didn't want to explain it. I just said I'm going to go there. Thank you. It makes all the shit I take from people like Blind Mike worth it.
Yeah, but when she's the dog is looking at me, she seems fine. I mean, I know she's got some troubles on the inside, and they got a coat on her, and she's wearing a sweater full time. And then when they take her out, they put a coat on top of that sweater because I don't know, something when your kidneys don't function right, you get cold. So there's that. But other than that, she seemed happy and content. And I was feeding her and she was eating. And I don't know. She's not ready to die yet. And I would think at some point they look a lot worse. I don't know. I can't judge and say you shouldn't take your dog. I mean, that's her decision to make. But it's my girlfriend. This dog is my girlfriend. I love this dog. Remember when you could smoke on planes? Yes, I remember when you could smoke on planes.
Yeah, I was miserable.
Why?
Because I have been a bad sinus sufferer from childhood. It was so bad, but my mother did not understand that that's what it was. So my mother diagnosed me with having asthma because I was having difficulty breathing in a house where everybody smoked but me and my father. My father didn't smoke.
See, I said I remember, but maybe I lied because I'm thinking there were sections, right? And then they had like. So I don't know.
The smoking section was on the back of the plane, and of course, smoke stays exactly where you want it to. It doesn't.
Well, they had those things again. This is what I'm thinking. I remember they had those things that you
right, like the little vacuums that suck stuff up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if you're not sitting in the smoking section, I don't think you got a lot of. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think.
But the smoking section also grew and shrank. So. Like if they had, because you asked for a smoking section. So let's say a plane held, let's say 200 people, and then 50 people say we need to smoke. Okay, well then the 50 that's 50 seats. Okay, but then let's say the next plane only has 25. Well, now you're sitting in one of those seats where people were smoking.
Right.
See,
I remember 2009. We went to one of those yearly trips to Vegas, and at the registration desk, they asked me if I wanted smoking or non-smoking. My wife had just recently quit smoking, and I thought she might, because we're in Vegas, she might have a little relapse there. So I said, smoking just in case. And we got on the smoking floor. And my God, the minute the elevator door opened, it was like reefer smoke. The reefer smoke more than anything. But it just smelled like a bad mix of tobacco and reefer and all this stuff. And it was just like awful.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, there's nothing worse than the mixing the smell of reefer smoke and cigarette smoke, reefer smoke, and Old Spice. It's just
it was brutal. It was like that Seinfeld episode where Kramer became a smoker and his teeth turned brown over a weekend. He was smoking so much. He smoked like a lifetime worth in like a weekend or something. It was just but yeah, it's just awful. So I get it. But I don't know. I've been a non-smoker in a family of, like, my family used to smoke around the dinner table. Everybody except me. I don't know. I guess I learned to adapt to it. My grandparents smoked non-filtered cigarettes.
Now, I'm just the last time. One of the things I learned, because I was subjected to secondhand smoke, when I got older, into my 20s and 30s, if I had a few drinks, I craved a cigarette. And I did.
You sure that wasn't after sex or after, I don't know.
I said in my 20s.
After having your groceries. After having your groceries bagged.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and do the introduction.
Let's say hello to John. I don't have to read the introduction. John's a friend. He's been on the program. He actually
wait a minute. He's your friend. I don't know him. You got to do the introduction so that I know who he is.
All right, John is a comedian, magician, a comedy magic guy.
What? No. That's not what you.
Spooky magic guy.
He was a stripper. You said he was a male stripper.
No, he's a grocery bagger. I said he was a gay grocery bagger. No, I'm convinced.
So which John Ferrantino we're talking about?
We're talking about John Ferrantino, the spooky
stripper or the magician.
The comedian magician who was he was part of was a regular member on Comic Strip Live on Fox, and he was a opening act for Crosby, Stills, Nash, Sometimes Young, if Young felt like showing up, and a regular at the Magic Castle, and just an all around great guy, and part of a podcast that 1/3 of a podcast that changed its name because I said something stupid about the name of the podcast. Anyway, let's say hello to John Ferrantino. Good morning, John. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we're probably the only people that took your advice.
ever.
First of all, are there second thoughts? Are there regrets?
It was actually a funny story. We were originally the Big Bad Broadcast. There was 3 of us, and we got to do Matt's show, and he goes, this time we introduced us. He goes, the next 3 guys, obviously, you don't know anything about podcasts because they call themselves the Big Bad Broadcast. Little they know
it's the boomers. It was the
that
boomer
was
party.
Right. Yeah, it was the boomers. We were bitchin' baby boomers. He goes, they call themselves the bitchin' baby boomers. And obviously, they have no idea that demographics show that boomers have no idea how to even listen to a podcast.
Well,
we got off. We went, we got to change this immediately.
I wasn't born with Couth. Remember Couth? I didn't. I never had it. Meet Glenn, by the way. Glenn,
hey, Greg, how are you?
GD Fenderson over there.
How's it going, John?
He wants to know about where the spooky comes in. Because he's watching your videos and doesn't see anything spooky about them.
Well, because you go into the wrong website.
Oh.
Okay. I thought.
I
thought spooky meant you were working with black illusionists as well.
So basically, I'm friends with Michael Carbonaro from the Carbonaro Effect. I've known him since we were 16.
I know his sauce.
So we went out one night and we were with this guy, Eugene Berger, who's like this classic magic guy.
Oh, I love
do,
Eugene.
Yeah, he used to do seances and stuff. And we got into this conversation about how people don't really believe in magic anymore. Not like 50 years ago when the magician came to town, they thought they had magic powers. So I said, well, what if you could take 15 effects that no one's ever seen before and then weave them into a story about a paranormal magic? And I said, all you could expect for the people to leave the show going, well, maybe. And that created this entire new field of magic for me, where I do kind of theatrical seance shows also besides my comedy.
It's funny because what you described was what I used to do to my mother and my aunts, because they used to hold seances at our house, and I used to try to create the illusion that somebody was actually in the house, because nothing ever happened. The first 3 seances, like nothing. I said, okay, I'm gonna have furniture move, I'm gonna have lights go on and off, and I'm gonna do it all from a remote location in my house. I was about 9 or 10 years old figuring all this out.
Oh, and then basically that's what theatrical seances are all about, but doing unexplained things. Like I have an effect in the show that I'll borrow somebody's cell phone. I mean, it's pretty high tech now. I borrow somebody's cell phone and I'll say, I'm going to prove to you once and for all that there's no such thing as any spirits. Put your phone on record and put it on my table. And they put it on the table. And I go, is there any spirits in the room? And you don't hear anything. If there's a spirit in the room, what's your name? If there's a spirit in the room, can you tell me where you are? If there's a spirit in the room, what do you want from us? So I go, see, no spirits, hit play. And when they hit play, recorded on their phone, it says, is there a spirit in the room? And you hear, yes. What's your name? Anne. Where are you? I'm standing behind you. What do you want? I just want to play. Then I have him sit in a chair and I go, it's all right if Anne makes contact with you. And then something taps him on the neck like 3 times. So it's pretty, it's pretty high tech stuff, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I used to have the video catalog, video library for Society of American Musicians and the Long Island Mystics. I was the keeper of their video library and studied. I had everything from Eugene Berger and used to watch those over and over again. I was fascinated by him. He was a great storyteller and played the role really, really well. And that I've been
and he had a voice, right, Matt, that he could sell like a Charmin's commercial and make it scary.
Yeah.
He had that spooky voice, so every down and everything he talked about. It was just like, oh my God. And that's the difference between that's the difference between real, like magic, and now they're calling this bizarre magic. It's regular magic is all about the flash, like, hey, look at me, I can do this, blah, blah, blah. Whereas this new type of magic, bizarre magic, they call it, is basically a story, and the magic only enhances the story.
Yeah. That's kind of next week, a week from today, we have Jeff Altman on, who is a close-up guy. I think you probably know him from
Sure.
Yeah. And he was like, well, what do you want to talk to me about? Recently, because of all the garbage, the AI schlock that I'm seeing, I got more interested in magic, and I'm seeing guys who are really good, skilled magicians doing like card stuff and just regular sleight of hand stuff, and then I'm seeing all this fake magic that
AI is crazy.
It's unbelievable, and I think it is hurting the art of magic. It's creating some really bad because
I totally agree with that. You see a guy levitating, he goes, oh, I have 4 little drones on the bottom of my shoe. You know what I mean? It's like full of shit. You know what I mean? It's like, so nothing you're ever gonna do live is gonna be compare.
Right.
Yeah. It's just, it can't compare to it. So yes, I agree totally.
And they're doing like some of it looks so real, and it's supposed to be street magic, right? There's one where this guy is he's got people around him in a circle, and he lifts up his shirt and he's see-through, and the people behind him are reacting to it. It's all AI though, and then people, well, can you do the trick? Remember when David Blaine, he used a little bit of video trickery in his street levitation, but at least he was doing the old-fashioned shoe levitation stuff. He was doing it, and people were reacting to it. It's gone so far beyond that I think anybody who's out there really performing it has to kind of put up with the perception that you can do real, like, insane effects that people are seeing on Facebook or whatever. And it's just, it got to be really hard to make a living. Do you know people who are out there full-time working? I mean, just constantly working the magic gigs?
Yeah, I mean, me. You know,
you're doing steady.
Yeah,
I thought you were just picking and choosing where you wanted to when you wanted to.
I was, but it seemed like I'm getting a bit more busy. You know, in the beginning I was doing that. I mean, I have a weekly statements thing that I do out at a pirate museum called Under the Black Flag of Death, and that's the coolest gig ever because it's a pirate museum, well, legitimate pirate museum. You know, where you got to see the stuff they have in there. They have like peg legs and pirate flags from 17th century and cannons.
A beheaded parrot that couldn't keep a secret.
Yeah. And so we get to use actually artifacts from the museum, which is amazing. And I do it with another guy. And yeah, so, you know, the people come to the museum for an hour before the show, and then they go into this dark room with all these oil paintings, like from the 17th century, you know, 1700s of pirate captains and stuff. And then we do this theatrical seance. And then I've been doing comedy. I've been doing a lot of these over 55 communities with pretty, you know, like beautiful stages and, you know, nice. I've been doing a lot of those also.
Perfect.
So, but back to what you were saying about AI. All right. So there is a guy named Lucinda who invented this floating table.
Right.
And they're really expensive. I mean, you know, they start at about $3,000. And you put a handkerchief over it and you grab the edge of the handkerchief and it floats. And nobody does it as well as he does it. But, you know, here's a trick that's $3,000 where, you know, you're holding a handkerchief and then at one point there's a little box and you can hold the table by the box and show that there's nothing underneath it. And now on AI, there's a woman standing there with just a table in the middle of nowhere of the street with nothing around it. And she goes, fly, and the table flies up in the air and flies around her. And, you know, you're never going to be able to create that.
Yeah.
So when you do this $3,000 table, people go, oh, could you let go of it? Can it fly around you? You know, it's
that's kind of what I'm really upset about is the expectations it's putting into the audience's mind that you can do some of these things. But you mentioned the over 60, the young people, are they? And last time I talked to Jeff was several years ago, and he was under the impression that magic was a lot like comedy. There's a lot of magicians, as many magicians now. I was like, I don't think so. I think the art form is dying out. And the question, because you brought up the older people, are they the audience, or do young people come to magic shows? I'm talking people 20s and 30s.
I think it's pretty mixed. I think that basically maybe it's what you say, that these over 55 people don't watch the internet.
Right.
And they don't see all that. But like if I do a comedy club, it's still all young people. And maybe I'm not a great example of it either, because, you know, in my act, it's more comedy than it is magic. So, you know, the magic's really kind of secondary.
Was your comedy and magic at some point separate, like two separate entities, like you did comedy and then you did magic, or was it always do this and have a humorous bent?
Years ago, they opened up a comedy club in my neighborhood in 1972, I believe. And it was this place called Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn, where this guy Dixon, his face made to look like President Nixon. And he was nuts. I mean, he really thought he was Nixon. And in that place, it was like Eddie Murphy, Rosie O'Donnell, Kevin James, Ray Romano, Richie Minervini, all these, Rob Bartlett, like great comics, you know. And I went to see the show, and they were so funny. And after the show, I went up to the host, which was Richie Minervini, and I said, "Oh my God, you guys are amazing! How long have you been doing this?" They said 2 weeks, and I was like, which I couldn't believe, you know. And they said, "What do you do?" And I go, "I do magic." And they go, "Well, you start next week." So I just did really serious magic between these. They were 7 comics, so I was like put on after the 4th comic to do 10 minutes of regular magic. And then I'd walk off stage into the back room, and I would go, they'd go, "That's amazing." And I go, "Oh, it's nothing you can do for $29.95. And the comedians would laugh. And, you know, and then one night the crowd just sucked. And I think it was Eddie Murphy, believe it or not, that said to me, "Why don't you just go out and do it like you do it for us backstage? And we'll all come in the audience and we'll sit there and we'll watch and laugh." So I went out and I did my act, just making fun of what I did. And, you know, the magic was still really good, but it was the patter was just, you know, funny. And
I watched the video with the egg and the handkerchiefs, and I thought it was really, really hilarious.
So, so they were just laughing really hard. And then I remember there was like a moment, you know, you have these moments in your career where I went like, wow, this is the first time I've actually not been nervous and had fun on stage. And that's how it all started, basically, you know.
Dixon name comes up a lot with Long Island comics, and the thing is,
oh my God,
he basically raped them as far as money though. I think he paid a lot of guys in like a beer or something. That's what you get.
Yeah. So we used to get $5 a set and 1 beer, right?
Wow.
However, no, we didn't have any idea what we were doing. Here's a perfect Dixon story, right? One night he tells us, after we've been doing this about 6 months, that there's a big Asian coming in. And, you know, so we go out that night and we're all green. We all bomb. We suck, you know? And then one of the guys, Dave Hawthorne, had been in a comedy troupe with Billy Crystal in college. And they had done like the Merv Griffin show. They had done a couple of like shows like that. So he started talking to the guy, and he finds out the guy's an insurance agent, right? So the next day we all go to Dixon's, like in the Frankenstein movie, you know, with pitchforks and burning torches. We're going, you know, "Well, you lied to us." And then all of a sudden he just looked at us. He goes, "Lied to us? I didn't lie to you. I told you there was a big agent there and you all sucked." He goes, "If there had been a real agent here, you would have never worked again in your life." And it was true. You know what I mean? So, I mean, as crazy as he was, you know, he was sort of like the godfather to us, you know?
Yeah.
But
very cool.
Yeah.
So the other day I saw you on Facebook with I was trying to explain this to GD, the old coloring book effect, but it's now the Epstein files. I thought that's a creative approach to, you got it with you. Good. You want to display that for the fans? Because I'm sure I did a terrible
okay. So I talk about how for some reason I got this in the mail that said "top secret." And I don't know where it came from or anything, but I opened it up.
Let me do this.
And it was backwards, the Epstein files. And when I looked through the Epstein files, it was supposed to look like this, you know. And this is what it really looked like. But it wasn't good enough for Trump because he wanted it to look like this. And then the last page is really disturbing. It just said Donald Trump.
Very cool.
It was just something I was playing. I was playing around in my office, and I go, I bet you I could do something with that. You know, so it was all kind of last minute.
Yeah, that's something I'm interested in, and I'm going to want to talk to Altman about it next week, and I want to get your perspective on this. When you guys were first doing the bitchin' baby boomers, you had a 4th guy on there, Joe, and I don't remember Joe's last name.
Joe Silky.
Silky, right?
Yeah,
there we go. So he's very big in developing new kind of tricks and stuff like that.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, he's got. You know, it's really funny. He has got this analytic mind. He can see a magic trick for the first time where, like if you're at that place like the Mystics, like there's 20 magicians sitting around going, I don't know how we did it. And Silky just goes, I'll tell you exactly how we did it. You know what I mean? It's like he can just look at something and analyze it, but his mind, it's like an encyclopedia. Like I'll go, hey, I saw this trick where this guy did, you know, he took a dove and he pulled it apart, you know, and there was two doves, you know, and he'll go, yeah, he goes, you know, in 1938, a magician from France, blah, blah, blah. You know? And then like an hour later, he sends you a manuscript on it. You know what I mean? Wow. He's amazing. So when I was on,
he's like the Jackie Joke Man of magic.
Yeah, when I was on Comic Strip Live, I was on for 5 years every other week, and you know, after like 5 or 6 shows, 10 shows, you run out of material. And he would just say, all right, here's what we're going to do, you know, and he would put together something and I would have like a week to practice it and then do it on live TV, you know, and he was always a home run. The guy's great.
Yeah.
So that idea, he's an amazing graphic artist.
Of coming up with new stuff, like the coloring book, again, it's very creative twist. Now, but it's got to be really difficult when you see all these people doing all this fake shit on the internet to come up with something that is going to really impress people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to share with you one thing. This got a video, because this is typical of what I'm talking about for people who don't know. And I'm not trying to give this guy a plug or anything, just actually quite the contrary. But this is how the state of fake. All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
it's got to be really hard.
So that's what you call spooky magic, because a black guy is doing it, right? That's the okay.
But the thing is, he's using this American Idol judges or whatever, but not American Idol stuff. He's got talent show in the background to get away with the copyright stuff somehow.
Right.
But people are buying that like it's real stuff because they have the American Idol judges and they're reacting to it supposedly. And I don't know how he's getting all that stuff. But it's got to be really hard to start to develop anything new when that's what you're competing with, right? Something that's going to impress new audiences when they've seen that and they think it's real. Like it's got to be extremely.
I think eventually, you know, everything magic, like all show business, goes through cycles. So I think after a while, people are going to go, it's AI. Like they'll just look at that and go, it's AI. And then when people may want to go see real magic. You know what I mean? When I say real magic, like live magic, because they know it's not AI. So in the long run, it may actually help, I guess. Perfect example, like the trick, the linking rings, right? The linking ring is just 8 rings, solid rings, and you show them separate, and then they link together in patterns, and they come apart and whatever. And that's really kind of what started my whole thing of magic. When I was in New York City, and I went to the New York City Library, and I saw a street performer, doing linking rings. And I must have sat there and watched it like 5 times. And I was like, this is amazing. So I went to Tannen's and I bought linking rings and spent like the next 2 years learning how to do it. Like I did linking rings before I even was interested in magic. And then The Masked Magician kind of exposed the linking rings on TV. And it's funny because that trick in particular, when you know how it works and you watch it, is more impressive. Because it's like you can't, you know, even you know how it works, you just can't figure it out. You know, it's like you go, this has got to be different. He couldn't possibly be doing it that way that I think it's done. So, and, you know, so I think that maybe have a lot to do with it also. You know, I think that after a while, people are going to go, wow, that happened in front of me. It wasn't AI. You know?
Yeah,
hopefully.
I agree.
Hopefully.
Well, there are people, I do see a lot of magicians who are doing it with skill, rather than AI. And some of them I'm looking for things like double lift, things that I know that are techniques. And like, if that guy's doing a double lift there, that is the smoothest, quickest double lift I've ever seen. And how the fuck did he do that?
Right.
There's a lot of that going on. I just, I'm wondering for the future, like, are young people impressed with that and want to see that, or they just want to go and believe in this guy who can take parrots off a painting and make them live with just a little green smoke or something?
Well, it's getting to the point now where it's not even magic. It's like that, AI is everywhere. If you're on TikTok and you're going through and you go to see something and like right now I'll go, oh, that's AI. I just go right by it. I don't even look at it anymore. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to come to that point too, but I agree. I think it's harder to impress people, and when you can see somebody like do that parrot thing where it's impossible to do, where the parrots turn into luggage. You know what I mean? It's parrot the luggage. You're not going to find that in any magic book.
I think there is some use, and this is where in the music world we talk about using it as a tool. There is a guy who's doing AI, incorporating it into mentalism stuff, using cell phones and whatever. And I think if you can do that, I don't have a problem with it. If it's unique and you're using technology, but it's still the performance part of it, and there's skill involved, and there's certainly skill in patter and performance stuff that is you're not necessarily hands, but it's still, you have to develop that skill. It's not just something you can just rely on a computer to do all your stuff for. I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, I just went to a magic convention. It's called the East Coast Spirit Sessions, which it's all people that do this bizarre magic. And I did 2 shows there that where basically there was no magic in them at all. It was just like storytelling. And I was really like, I don't know if I can do this. And in the middle of the show, I had some people that started crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I was on a podcast yesterday where those guys were from that convention. They were going, it was unbelievable. It's like we were expecting it to be funny. And, it's like there were people crying around us,
Yeah.
And so, the words are as powerful as the AI, I think. And that's why I think that this next phase of magic is going to be, it's almost like when I first started doing comedy magic, like I said, there was I think there was 4 of us in the country that work in clubs. There was me, the Amazing Jonathan, Nick Lewin, and Amazing Jonathan. And that was it. Now there's 4,000 comic magicians.
Yeah.
And
I tried my hand at it one time to do go into a comedy open mic night. I was doing the sponge balls, and I had the sponge ball dick thing. I was like the X-rated,
right?
But yeah, you were already doing it then, and it became a fad. Now everybody wants to hop on.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I think that this I'll keep calling it bizarre magic. I don't really know why it's called bizarre magic. It's almost in its infancy, and it's sort of like the next. I think it's the next phase of magic. I go to this convention every year. I've been there 3 years in a row. And the first year there was 40 people. And now there's 150 people 4 years later. And it's amazing when you see what these people are doing. It's the stories are great. And I think it's more, like I said, it's story based more than, hey, look at me, I can do this, you can't,
Yeah.
And it was just this story that I did was pretty creative. I mean, I found a yearbook on eBay from 1942, and it just so happens that year the prom was the Hawaiian theme prom. So I wrote a whole story about it, a kid that goes into service. I forged pictures and got a letter from the SS Arizona, and it's just like this story, that just sounds so real that but like I said, there was no magic in it. And the other story was called The Harbor and the Heart, and the other one was called The Town That Vanished and Reappeared. And it was basically just a story that compared the Spanish flu to COVID about this one town, and and it was like it really hit home. It was very freaky doing something where I'm going, these are magicians, and I'm doing 20 minutes with no magic in it. How is this going to go over? And it went over amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, I have a question. Go ahead.
We were talking about the table and the cost of the table, and there was a period of my life where I spent a lot of time. I'm sure you know the place I'm talking about, the Magic Shop in Hicksville.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But there were a lot of those.
Phil and Howie.
Right. And when I was 14 years old, I ran away and I was working in the magic shop, magic store on Main Street in Disneyland as a 14-year-old, as like an apprentice in there. So, but
Nice.
Are they still a thing, like in Florida where you live? Are there still like magic shops or that kind of thing? Or
well, the biggest magic store used to be Daytona Magic, and that was a brick and mortar magic store, but he basically since sold it, and now the guy's doing more like online. They have a little showroom, but nothing like it used to be. It used to be like Tannen's. It used to be this huge magic store. And there is a little local store in Cocoa Village called the Dove, and they, but it's just a weird store,
Yeah. So with
hey, you can pull up clips, right? Or can you do that? Yeah. See if you can look up Lucinda's floating table. You got to see this guy do this. Yeah. Or you just been pulling floating table and he'll come up. But you got to see the way this guy does this. It's a miracle.
I need a magician to help me type floating table. But part of because I don't think young people are into it as magic as an art form as much. And that was a way in was the magic shop. People, Lucinda's, I think it's images here. There's no video that I'm seeing of it. But that was the inroads to young people getting involved in magic was magic stores. And I don't think if there's
well, this particular magic store, the Dove, they do classes and whatever, and it is really like old time magic store. But yeah, I mean, I was on a podcast yesterday, and it was a Bizarre Magic podcast, and one of the guys is, I guess, 22 years old, and he was saying how he's never been in a magic store.
Wow.
Just exactly what you were saying, that he goes, I've never been in a magic store in my life. I mean, what's it like? And I was like, I remember, people would just on a Saturday, you got nothing to do, you go hang out at the magic store and see some amazing magic,
Levitation, the ultimate magic effect by Lucinda Wellman. And then there's Dr. Lucinda Wellman, right? Wow. But there's none actually showing the table. This guy's doing like a body levitation.
I'm gonna see if I can find some.
Yeah.
All right. It's not that important. It's if I find one, I'll let you know. It's
all right.
It's amazing though to see him do this. Like it would look like AI, That's a secret. So anyway, I don't mean just stop the show looking for.
No, that's all. It's all fine. Yeah,
I was gonna ask you about. There are movies about magic and magicians and stuff like that. I'm thinking of like The Illusionist, The Prestige, Now You See Me. Do you have a favorite movie along those lines that you watch and go like, even if they're not doing real magic, you can like, I think I'd like to try to do that, or they make that look fun or interesting or something?
I did like the Now You See Me, but I think it's kind of crazy. So here's how you spell this guy. It's
I'm going to expose myself here because Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh in the original Houdini movie.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
I'm an old man. What can I say? I mean, that was some good stuff though.
He's got like 10 things on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's LOSANDER. Lucinda floating table.
Lucinda, this is a very nice table. Oh yeah, here it is, 423. Let's let me see if I can do this.
Yeah, you just got to see this. It's nobody does it like this guy either. I mean, I own one, and it's like
this isn't a guy. This is a girl doing it. Oh no, it's a guy. It just got long hair.
It's got long hair.
I'm sorry. Look at me. I'm like Archie Bunker. It looks like a woman. I'm sorry. Oh Jesus. Share screen. Come on, dude. You've done this before. Is this video? Oh no, that's your videos. Watch history. Where the fuck am I? God damn it! Oh, I'm sorry. What did I just do? Did I? Oh, because it's not on YouTube. Oh well, it is on YouTube. But it is on YouTube, but not according to my tabs here. It's actually a. God damn! I'm pushing wrong buttons. I need a producer. Get me a producer.
I have a producer. It's so nice.
Oh well, good for you. We all can't be these big shot celebrities like you, John. I'm a nobody. I don't know if you've known this about me, but I'm a nobody. Which is we'll send the floating table. Here you go. Here you go. Did we see that? Yes, we see it. Oh no, you don't see it yet. I gotta push too many buttons. Get out of my face. There you go. Yeah, there we see it. Now I'm going to hit start over here and see what happens.
So what you see here is the original table. That's the table I started the whole floating table with. And
I think this is his sales pitch for the table. So that table you're looking at is about $3,500.
Is pretty much the craft.
Wow.
Okay. So this is a very nice looking table, but
you're ruining the illusion. This is his sales pitch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, let me see. Can we? Does it get to the point where he's doing it?
Yeah.
So let's hit this.
You can perform this
incredible. Watch how he does this. It's just
can be done fully surrounded from all angles. And there's absolutely no problem. Wherever you are, you can perform this wonderful effect. Indoors, outdoors, literally for 3,000 people. Or what most people don't understand, this is actually a close-up effect. Meaning you can perform this entire effect completely close up to the audience. And they can be 1 foot away. So now this is the basic routine, which looks the same with all of the tables. It doesn't matter.
I mean, that looks like it could be AI, right?
Right. And it also looks like if you were doing it on the street, some kids would come up and grab the table and say, "Hey, wait a minute."
Landing down, now would be a good moment to ask for a volunteer.
And then he has a volunteer come up, and while he does it, they look underneath it.
Corners of the cloth, they will hold it.
And then at one point, he lets go of the entire handkerchief. It just holds the box.
Same way, and on the highest point, roughly here, you would ask them to just simply.
If I tell you how hard that is to do, it is so hard. It is so hard to do to make it look so smooth, and it's incredible.
It just takes off like that. Yeah. All right. Let's say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm saying there's a perfect example of a trick that looks like it could be AI and it's not. So you see that live, you're like, whoa,
nicest guy who's not being the nicest guy. I think he's confused with Evil Ian here. He's saying bullshit fake ass table. Because remember what Toppet, remember the Toppet jacket? They used to sell for like $150 in the magic shop, but you could make your own. And I did make several out of I went to thrift stores and bought a jacket and made my own Toppet. Can you like something like that? I'm sure you could build on your own for under $3,000, right?
Probably
if
not.
You know. Really?
Probably not. I mean, you can buy them from China. And you can probably get one for $150, but it's all in the gimmick, which is I mean, I have one. I have one of his, and it's very funny because I bought one from China, and then I I went to a magic convention and he was in the booth next to me. And he's like, he goes, maybe in your seance show, you should have a table that floats. And Silky looks at me and goes, now you can never use the rip-off table. He goes, now that you're friends with the guy, why did you even talk to him?
I wouldn't.
And then anyway, he said to me, and I told him the truth. I said, look, I didn't even know that he invented the table, And he was like, oh, no, that's cool. He goes, I'll just give you a table for like a great price. And but it's so funny. I had a table made and it's got all inlaid wood in it, but you can't see it because it's covered.
Right.
But anyway, enough loose end.
Wow, Lucinda table. Well, maybe we just sold one. I have somebody out there that wants to start a magic career.
Well, I can imagine that when you're selling it for $3,000 now, but I'm pretty sure the first table probably cost like $15,000 to make, between material and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just thinking the prototype.
Yeah.
You're going through all this stuff. Like, what material will work with this? What kind of so.
And I think also it's not that. I think that his attitude is, which people respect, is if I make this trick $3,000, not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to be doing it and screwing it up.
Oh yeah,
if you spend $3,000 on it, you're going to want to try to do it like as close to the way he does it, which is almost impossible.
Yeah.
So.
Let me ask you, because I'm certain I've asked you this before, but your relationship with CSNY started with being a friend of Graham Nash, right?
No.
No?
No. What happened was my mother had been very sick, and my manager, we had 7 full-time comedy clubs on Long Island, and they had a deal where you couldn't have your picture in the paper like within 2 months of each club, because they didn't want to go, I'll wait 2 months and go see him at this other club. So my mother was really ill, and my manager at the time called all the clubs and said, I want to keep him in town. His mother's really sick. We'll give you like $500 off the price. But you need to know that he's going to be in every club on Long Island for probably the next 2 months. And we'll try to do what we can about the newspaper. So David Crosby had just gotten out of jail on that gun charge. And I don't know if you know what that was. It was like he had a registered gun his entire life. And at 12 o'clock, the registration on the gun expired. And at 12:05, they came into the dressing room and arrested him in Texas, which he claimed saved his life because he had a really bad drug problem. So the newspaper comes out the next day, and I'm in 7 ads. There's my face in every ad in the paper. And the guy from Westbury Music Fair, tickets weren't going that great, decided that let's get this guy. He must be a local draw. So they called my manager and got me the opening act for that show that night and the following night in Valley Forge. And, you're from Long Island, man. It's like if you're an entertainer working Westbury Music Fair is like the holy grail.
Yeah. And
especially working with me, it was just Crosby and Nash, and I went to Woodstock to see them. I couldn't believe it. It was the dream gig, and I did really well that night. But everyone knew me from. I remember this vividly, being introduced and walking down to that stage in the round, and people going, MacArthur High School, East Side Comedy Club, like people yelling out all the places on Long Island I worked. And then I had no contact with them really at all that night, just that Graham is a real gentleman, and he came in and said hi, and Crosby kind of just nodded. And then the following night I was working in Valley Forge, and a friend of mine said, oh yeah, he goes, I got a Winnebago, let's take that. It'll be like, we'll have our own tour bus. So we take his Winnebago, and on the way down, you'll probably remember him, Walter from the Magic Store.
Yeah.
I think it was Howie's cousin or something. Yeah. So, of course, the thing overheats on the way down. We break down about 20 minutes from the theater. And I'm just so pissed off. And it's like, I'll be there at 7. It's now 7:15, and we're still on the side of the road. The cop pulls over, and I go, I'll give you $500 if you take me to the theater. He's like, I can't do that, but I can make a phone call for you. Finally, we got the thing started. We got there. I set up my stuff in the van. And do you remember Kevin Smith, the fire eater?
Yeah.
He used to look like Bin Laden. Yeah, he looked like Bin Laden. And we get there and I walk in and they go, well, I'm sorry, you can't go on. It's a union place. And, you know, everything is timed to the minute. And Crosby said, well, why can't he go on? He goes, we won't do the intermission. Just let him go on. He can introduce us. And that's it. So they go, okay. So I'm still in my winter coat, my shit in Winnebago. And I hear on a microphone, comedian going on. And I hear them introduce me. So I have to take off I don't even have my suit jacket on. I have to run down this thing to a stage that I've never seen before, which is like Westbury, but there's no apron. And I walk out, and the last thing I hear, my friend Kevin going, don't worry about it. I'll get you crap on stage. So I went out and I did a couple of minutes of stand up, and he always dresses in black. So he looked like a roadie. So he got my stuff on and he brought my suit jacket out and I put that on because half of the act is in my suit jacket. And it was kind of funny, you know, it's like, I was so stressed. And I get a woman on stage and I go to do this sword through neck trick. And I always tap her on the back of the neck with the real sword. And as soon as I tapped her on the neck, she started peeing on herself, but like not just a little bit, like a waterfall. I mean, it's coming off the top of the bar stool, like a waterfall. And it's obviously, I got to address this because people are like laughing now, right? And so I step back and I'm thinking, this is the worst day of my life. And I walk back and I roll up my pant legs and I go, wet breakage, aisle number 3. And I do the trick and I send her back to her seat. And now I have to finish my act. So I have to move everything because there's a puddle on stage. But thank God it's in the round. So I move everything. And I'm just like, this is the worst. And I walk off stage and I go into the back dressing room and Crosby's on the couch having a convulsion. He's laughing so hard. And he just sits up and he goes, fuck anyone who can make a woman piss in her pants after the day you had. You are our new permanent opening act.
Wow.
And that's how I got it. It's like a show. It's like a showbiz story.
So
Yeah,
she
totally.
doesn't pee. If she doesn't pee, you don't get the second show.
Probably not. You know. And then this is kind of funny. I started working with them, and but it was all kind of like, hey, what are you doing next Wednesday? We're in Daytona Beach, and so it wasn't really anything really consistent. So then I was working in Atlantic City with them, and they go, how are you getting around? And I go, I'm driving and flying. And they go, well, why don't you just ride the bus with us? And I was like, are you kidding? I was like, wow. And you got to be cool. And I was like, yeah, I think that'll be all right. You know, I mean, like, I'm like one
on the outside,
at the top of my lungs.
On the outside, yeah. But on the inside, it's like,
yeah, exactly. And then this is really funny. So they go, well, we're working in Philadelphia in 2 nights. We'd like you to have you work there. So, and I get like 8 comps per show. So I call all my friends in New York. I go, I'm killing, man. You got to come see me with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I'm killing. So I get to this place, and Graham comes up to me and says, you know, this is the worst gig in the world. And he goes, sometimes they throw shit at the opening acts. And I was like, what? And he's going, yeah, it's not good. He goes, but you'll be fine. So I walk out and I go, all my friends are in the audience. My ex-wife is in the audience. I walk out and I go, hey, who do you think was the greatest magician that ever lived? Who the fuck? ECSN, CSN. Meanwhile, the local DJ comes out and goes, you like CSN? And they go crazy. He goes, all right, well, like, here's your magician. That was my intro. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, they just hated me. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, they just were screaming and bring on the band and blah, blah, blah. And it's, you know, you have these visions of your career, and I walk off stage and Crosby, meanwhile, I say to them, listen, I'm supposed to be out here for 20 minutes. If you don't shut up, I'm staying out another 20, you know, and then they got kind of quiet because they hated me. And I walked off stage, and Crosby was there, and he walks up to me. I just dropped my carpet bag. I'm like a beaten man. And he just gives me this bear hug, and he looks at me and he goes, man, they fucking hated you. And I go, thanks. He goes, no shit, man. They hated you. And I go, thanks, David. And he just starts laughing. And he walks down the hallway. So I'm in my dressing room, and Graham Nash walks in, and he goes, Johnny, I really apologize. This should never happen to you. And meanwhile, I was on TV all the time during that run. And he goes, from now on, every night, I'm going to come out and introduce you. And from that point on, it was the greatest gig in the world. He would come out every night. He'd go, hey, Graham Nash here. And it was amazing because the audience would fill up like time-lapse photography because they thought the show was going to start. Because when it's the opening act, it's like a couple of people straggle in. And he goes, hey, David and Steve and I aren't quite ready to come out, but we're going to bring on a guy who's a friend of mine. And he's so funny that we thought we'd make him a permanent part of our show. So you better give him the respect he deserves. He's my good friend, John Ferrantino. And I'd come out and he'd hug me, and the crowd would be like, this guy knows them. And it was like night and day for the rest of the it was great.
You know what? Because that's I was thinking about it. In my mind, every gig opening up for a music act like that would have been like the one in Philadelphia, because it just seemed like, I mean, I could see Westbury it going over well because that's not really a rock hall or like an arena type thing. But typically, if they would play like Nassau Coliseum or something like that, that would be really difficult to be.
But see, I did the acoustic tour. So I think we limited it at like 5,000 seats when they did the acoustic tour. It wasn't like doing like, but still, I mean, when we did a tour one summer of hockey arenas in Canada, it's like, how about this? I get the directions right to meet them at the theater, and I'm with my manager, and I pull up, and he goes, "This is a theater," and I go, "It's a hockey arena." And he's going, "Yeah, but this is where the address is," and I go, "Well, they say they're here. I don't see any buses." And he goes, well, yeah, let me ask. So we go to the guard. We go, is this blah, blah, blah? Yeah, this is where it is. I go, where's the buses? He goes, the 3 buses are parked inside next to the arena.
Wow.
So we're like, so you have an idea how big this place was.
Yeah.
I look at videos. Wow. I have videos of every night every show that I did with them, just like of the theater. And sometimes I look at those videos and I go, how the hell did I ever work there? I mean, huge places,
Yeah. Steve Byrne, who did the movie Amazing Jonathan, we talked about him opening up for Kanye, doing stand-up, opening up for Kanye at Red Rocks. And I was like, man, that's got to be like the most awful experience in the world. Was that, I mean, you're traveling with guys you actually saw at Woodstock, so that's got to be like an amazing feeling. But then just I don't know, was it fun? Is at the end of the day,
it was the greatest highlight of my entire career.
Wow.
I mean, cool. There was nothing. They were the nicest people that I ever worked with. Graham Nash was the nicest guy. Let me tell you how nice Graham Nash is. So I'm still pretty good friends with him, right? So I sent him an email going, hey, how you doing? He sends me an email back, and he goes, just give me a call. So I give him a call, and he's telling me that he's moving to New York. And he goes, when's the next time you're going to be in New York? And I go, I got my 50th high school reunion. I go, but it's not going really well because, I go, 1968, we lost a lot of people to Vietnam. We lost a lot of people to drugs, and you're trying to get enough people. So he goes, oh, where'd you go to high school? And I tell him, and he goes, when is the reunion? And I give him all the details. I get off the phone with him, and I get a thing, you got mail. And it's a video from Graham Nash going, hey, everybody from MacArthur High School, it's your old friend. I just want to say that I know you guys are having a reunion, and I just got off the phone with my good friend, John Ferrantino, and, you guys should really think about coming to this thing because, maybe the last time you get to see your friends and, and blah, blah, blah. And, and he goes to this whole big thing, and he goes, and if you go, please do me a favor, say hello to my good friend, John, for me. And he then underneath it goes, just have them post this on the website. I posted on the website, and overnight we got like an extra 100 people. And
all of them.
I didn't know they put it, and it was just because it's like I went there and I was like the hero. Graham Nash, holy shit,
Yeah, honestly.
But that's the kind of guy he is. He's the nicest guy.
My 50th is coming up next year, and I don't think anybody is going to. I think to say 100 people, I don't think there's 100 people alive from my high school class. I think probably 30 living still. So it's just it's
How many did you have in your class?
450.
Yeah, we had like 600. We had a lot.
Yeah,
but the reunion was great. Yeah. This is the funniest thing, right? The most popular girl in high school, right? Who she was like the holy grail chick in high school, right? Everyone was like, oh, I won't tell her name, but everyone was like, oh my God, she's so hot, blah, blah, blah. So I'm at the reunion and she comes up to me and she's big anti-Trumper, and she comes up to me and she goes, oh, I've seen your Facebook page. We have so much in common and blah, blah, blah. And we're talking and everything. And she goes to me, I just can't believe we were never really good friends in high school. And I just looked at her and I said, you wouldn't even talk to me in high school. Yeah. What are you talking about, and now all of a sudden, like, I'm her best friend.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I did the hottest girl from my high school who I had the privilege of sitting next to her in a bus one time on a school trip and spent 2 hours talking to her. But other than that, like she wouldn't even look at me. All of a sudden, we're
it's so funny.
buddies.
Now she's my best friend on Facebook, and it's like, and I said to her, I go, yeah, the reason why we weren't friends in high school, I go, because you were unapproachable.
Right.
And she goes, I know, I hear that so much. She goes, it wasn't me. And maybe it wasn't,
Yeah.
It was people. It was like the mystique,
Yeah.
Here's the story. I was riding in the bus one morning, right? And Graham was in the back in the bunk sleeping. Crosby was sleeping. And the phone rings. It was like a satellite phone on the bus because back then they didn't have it. And I pick up the phone and it's, oh God, now my mind's gone. Pink Floyd. Who's the head singer from Pink Floyd?
Roger Waters Roger Waters mostly, right? Or Gilmore.
The other one. Yeah, Gilmore. Yeah. And he goes, hey, this is Gilmore, and is Graham around? And I go, I felt like I should have been a reporter for Rolling Stone magazine. And he goes, no. I go, no, he's still sleeping. I go, you want me to wake him up? He goes, no. Gary Gilmore, right? And he goes, well, just tell him, I called when he gets up and ask him to return my call. And I go, all right, no problem. So Graham gets up and I tell him the message and he calls him. And I guess he calls him and he answers the phone. He goes, hey, welcome to the House of Broken Dreams. And I see Graham take out a pen and write it down. And apparently he was going through a divorce. And about 2 hours later, after coffee, Graham goes back to the bus, and 30 minutes later comes out with a new song, Welcome to the House of Broken Dreams.
Wow. Very cool.
Like, that's how it works. That's how it works. He was on our podcast.
Let me ask you,
Anyway,
because my audience has like this kind of weird hard on for Neil Young. Was he ever part of this when you were working with them?
Yeah, I did. In fact, I can't show it to you, but I have a poster here. And it says, I'll pull it off my wall for you.
We're waiting for the Neil Young poster while GD reminisces about his hot girlfriend in high school.
No, I was going to tell a story, but
yeah. So Neil Young. So he a
and John Ferrantino.
Yeah. I see that.
So Neil Young is kind of all right. So they go, every time Graham's like a little background before you meet Neil, and he goes, he's kind of a tech freak. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, and Crosby goes, he's out of his mind, man. So he says he's a real tech freak. So he goes, you watch at the sound check. So we go into sound check and he walks over and he takes out his harmonica and he blows it into a microphone, and he goes, "It's only 115 volts. It should be 120." And like, this is bullshit, right? And they measure. He's right. Then he picks up his guitar and he does one strum on the guitar, and he goes, "This is a 25-foot lead. I need a 20." And Krusty's like, "That's such bullshit, man. That's like putting your lamp into an extension cord and saying the light is different, you know?" And yeah, that's what he is, man. And
did we get locked up? Did we lose John?
Or
or is this a magic trick?
Yeah,
this is a magic trick.
For a second. Oh yeah. He goes, "I want you to come to my ranch. I want you to hear my new album." So he said, so he goes to the ranch, and he says he walks down to the lake, and he says he looks in front of the barn. He goes, there's a stack of Marshall amps from the ground up to like almost the roof. And then on the house, there's the equal set of lamps. He goes to Graham, "Get in the canoe." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Get in the canoe." And he said he rows at about 100 feet. And he goes, he's standing in a canoe with a bull, and the canoe's rocking back and forth. And he goes, "Track 1, level 8. And all of a sudden, he goes, "I'm listening to the biggest stereo in the history of the world of a new song that he wrote," right? And he goes, "If it wasn't bizarre enough, now he's standing in the canoe and it's rocking. And he's yelling through the bullhorn, 'More barn, more barn.'" He goes, "That's who he is, you know."
Wow. I would have thought Stephen Stills was the craziest one, but now I'm starting to think.
That's hands down. Stephen had his own. Stephen had his own bus because, they just made him have his own bus with his own manager, rides with him. Yeah. Let me tell you something. After 10 years, the last night I worked with them, Stephen came up to me and said, "You're pretty funny. Maybe sometime you can work with us."
Yeah.
And Graham said he's been with us for 10 years. And he goes, "Oh."
I had a similar experience, not on that level, but Randy Jackson from Zebra. I was his opening act at a certain venue on Long Island for about 3 years, and then a couple of months after that ended, he said the words, "Nice to meet you." Like, well, wait, I was your opening act for like 3 years, dude. Nice to meet you.
It's just bizarre. Yeah.
Well, it's time to wrap this up. Listen, I appreciate you being here. I said before you came on that I didn't think you had anything to promote because you're just doing this as a favor to me. I asked you to come on. Is there anything you'd like to let people know about?
Yeah. The pirate seance is very cool. And all the details are on Facebook. It's called Underneath the Black Flag of the Dead. And
can they find out about that on your website for people in Florida who
they find out on my website. And it's also on Facebook. It's always advertised on Facebook. And I do with another magician named Scott Barhold, who's really talented. And it's been fun. It's just fun. We got to write a whole new show, which was kind of neat. And now I know more about pirates than anyone should ever learn to know in their life.
I love that stuff in South Florida. Listen, the shipwreck stuff in the Keys and all that kind of stuff. Very fun stuff. I mean,
but meanwhile, there's pirates that come to the show. You got to see, how Renaissance people, how nutty they are.
Yes, I do.
These people come dressed as pirates.
Yeah.
And they have I'm telling you, thousands of dollars worth of clothes.
No, yeah, I had some back in the MySpace days. I was kind of dating a woman who did Renaissance fairs, and she never let go of character. She was like a princess the whole time and expected me to treat her like royalty. It's like, no.
Well, the first night we're there, this guy walks in with his girlfriend, and they both dressed as pirates. And my partner Scott goes, "Hey, nice costume." And the guy goes, "This is not a costume. I am a pirate."
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Yeah, we need a psychiatrist here immediately.
Let me get you some help.
Oh man!
Well, Matt,
Yeah.
this was fun, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being here. Listen, I kind of, I've been in magic and out of magic and all that stuff, but I have a renewed interest in it, and I want to see, I want to see the art form survive, and I'm not very confident in. I think AI and all that stuff is ruining it. A lot of fake magicians, but then I see some guys who are doing some really, really innovative, skillful stuff.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff is amazing. Some of the
Yeah.
stuff is really, really amazing.
So I appreciate you being here.
No, I appreciate it. I couldn't get on at first. I kept clicking on something that was the instruction. So if you get an email from me in a panic going, I can't get on, that's what it was about.
Oh yeah, I think I sent you one. Are you coming? So it's fine. Anyway, thanks for being here. The link's in the description to go to dangerspookymagic.com. Anyway, good luck, and hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, take care. It's actually dangerspookystuff.com. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, no, that's right. You got it. You got it right.
Yeah,
I thought it was dangerous pooky stuff.
Yeah.
Cookies.
So just really quickly, your daughter is a very prestigious Broadway director, producer. She's got a current show on Broadway right now, right?
There's a screenwriter. She has another one. The Queen of Versailles just closed. She has on April 15th an opening of a show called The Fear of 13 with Adrian Brody.
Wow,
that cool. Just won the it was nominated for Olivier Award on the West End when it was in London.
Very cool.
It's a true story about a guy, Nick Yaris, who spent 25 years on death row for a crime he didn't commit. And it's actually, that would be a whole other show. This guy, just really briefly, because I know we got to go. He was like a low-level criminal in Philadelphia, stealing cars and bullshit. And he gets arrested for a stolen car. And while he's in jail, he reads about this woman that was raped, murdered, and run over by a car. He was friends with the guard. The guard keeps giving him newspapers. He knows everything about this crime. So he petitions the court that he knows who did this. And he's going to lie. He's going to pin it on a friend of his. He got him arrested years ago. And for a reduced sentence. So he goes in front of the judge. He tells him everything. He tells him that this guy committed the crime. And they go to arrest the guy and find out the guy's been dead for 2 years of a drug overdose. So they pin the murder on him. Wow. And he spends 24 years on death row. Wow. It's a true story. It's a true story. Oh, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Yeah. Very cool. So you're a very proud papa, and you should be.
Yeah. She's amazing.
All right. Well, don't be a stranger. Come back again, and I'll
anytime.
All right. Cool. Have a great
day. All right.
Thanks.
Talk to you later. Bye.
John Ferrantino. Link is in the description to his website. Go see the Pirate Show. We got to get out of here. We have a busy week this week. Do you know what we got coming up this week?
Well, I got to work on my taxes.
Yeah, and you got to go fly on Thursday.
Oh,
and then,
are
you going to be on Friday, or I'm doing that by myself on Friday?
No, you won't be by yourself on Friday. I'm sure you'll probably have Ron, and you'll probably have Elizabeth.
All right. Tomorrow, Pat Daly, who was on a show once before with us, who had audio problems, is an author of Sparks, a novel series. Then Wednesday, we have two guests, Cinda Swally and Deborah Green, Devin Green, also authors. Then Thursday, you're going to be here Thursday, right? Julia Lindenthal. Julia Lindenthal, who was supposed to be on last week or something, she didn't have a webcam. She rescheduled. She's got a webcam now. And then Sarah Alessandrini, who is got a film, what New Yorkers say, but she's not in New York. She's in L.A. It's about Andrew Cuomo's little rapey scene there in that movie. Then Friday, Holly Gutwillinger, who has been on the program before, she's releasing her book, and I told her to come back when it's out. And Jody McCade. So a full week. So lots of guests this week. Not like those weeks where it's just you and me just jibber jabbering about politics the whole week. Anyway, that's the show. Did you learn anything today about magic? You don't want to do it. That's what you like.
No, I've always had a fascination with it. I mean, even when I was a kid, I had a magic book, so to speak. I never went to a magic shop. So everything I had that was quote magic, I built myself based on what was from the book. So my levitation trick, I built, from the stuff around the house. It was awesome. Yeah. I was a poor black child. I couldn't go to a magic shop. So when I saw an illusion, I started working on it around the house.
I was a poor black child myself. That's Steve Martin from the Jerk was a poor black
and I have a question for you. I know we have to leave. Now, I was just thinking about this because I know of people that are friends with people who they themselves don't have money, but their parents have money. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they treat them special because their parents have money. They don't have money. They are broke as I am, but and I kept thinking that's like dating someone because that would be like, okay, my father before he died had a 10-inch penis. Okay, and that would be like some woman dating me because my dad had a 10-inch penis because she thinks that, okay, she might get, no, I don't have that. He has that. You can't equate I just don't get the people who are clinging on to people who don't have money when it's their parents' money.
Yeah, no, I get it. That the money thing I get, but I have to plead guilty to dating a girl. No, the opposite. But yeah, the straight version of that. I dated a girl who was not all that attractive, but her mother was fucking like movie star hot, and I thought, well, that's what she's gonna blossom into someday. She never did.
Well, okay. When I was in high school, I had a theory about dating, and that's a lot of people wind up dating the person they dated in high school. And so whenever I dated someone in high school, I always checked out the parents because I wanted to know what the kids could turn out to be like. If she could grow up to look like the mother, I'm like, okay, we're good, because you don't know. Some people literally wind up with the first person they date, and for some reason they stay together for like 60 years. And I thought because that's a possibility, when I was in high school, I checked out the mother, always checked out the mom. And so the first serious girlfriend I had in high school that I thought I was going to marry had this super hot mom. Yeah. But it didn't work out. It doesn't
work out. It's a fucking tease. It's a tease. It's a psych.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the girl grew up to look like, but she was very light skinned. Her mother was my complexion. Her father was Native American, so she had both features from both sides. And she was, even though she was black and Native American, she looked like Cher. So
half breed. I'm sorry. I'm off the air. First of all, I apologize for the F word I dropped before.
That one. Yeah, the 3-letter one.
Yeah, if you didn't catch it,
you didn't drop it. It never hit the ground. It went straight to the airwaves. It never fell. It never hit the ground. It came out your mouth and straight to the airwaves. Never dropped.
If I may just kind of make a really weak ass excuse about it. It was Jackie's birthday Saturday, so I was.
Oh damn! I should have reached out to him. Damn it! I'm terrible. I am a terrible non-friend.
I was texting that word over and over and over again on Saturday, just because it's Jackie. So I'm sorry. Anyway, I apologize for that. But then again, it's Hello Kitty. I'm sorry if you see a guy looking like me walking around with a Hello Kitty painting, chances are this is one of them. Anyway, that's the show for you. Don't forget to the radio stuff. Bye for now. Have a great day. Bye.
listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.